What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. As you can see here, we are starting off with President Trump live in New Mexico. He's walking out onto the stage right now, so please grab the URL for whatever platform you're currently watching right now and share it out on all of your social media. That way everyone can hear from the president. And happy Halloween, you hooligans.
Prostitute.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
Thank you. Wow. That's a lot of people here today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, New Mexico. What a good place. Thank you very much. Look, I'm only here for one reason. They all said, don't come. I said, why? You can't win New Mexico. I said, look, your votes are rigged. We can win New Mexico. We can win New Mexico. You know, I said, why? They don't want to stop the people pouring across the border that are murderers, they're killers, they're drug addicts, they're drug dealers, they're gang members. Why? New Mexico wants to keep it going like it is. So, you know, we almost won it twice. And let me tell you, I believe we won it twice, okay? You want to know the truth. And if you can watch your vote counter, if we could bring God down from heaven and he could be the vote counter, we would win this. We'd win California. We'd win a lot of states. A lot of states that they say, oh, a Republican can't win that state. They say a Republican can't win. Well, you know what? We're going to win it. We got to win it. You just got to keep the votes honest. Keep the votes honest. But a very big hello. It is really an honor to be in New Mexico. I have so many friends. I've been here before, as you know, but we have so many friends, and I'm thrilled to be in this beautiful state with thousands of very proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. And I'd like to begin by asking a very, very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? You know, we had per gallon $1.84. We used to say 87. I was corrected by the people in Washington. Can you believe it? $1.84 a gallon. And now you're at $3.50, $4. And let me tell you, after the election, if things didn't go the way they're expected to go, you'd be at $6, $7, $9, $10. But I've come here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote in this election, I will end inflation. I will stop the massive invasion of criminals into your state. And I will bring back the American dream. We're going to bring back the American dream. It's hard to have an American dream when radical, crazy killers and just horrible, horrible murderers. You know, you had coming through your border. Do you know how many you had? 13,099. That's Border Patrol, who endorsed me, by the way, very strongly. And you know what they said about her? She's the worst person they've ever seen having anything to do with the border. She's terrible. You cannot elect her. That's Border Patrol. That's Border Patrol. Do you know that in 4 years, almost 4 years, she never called Border Patrol once, and yet she was in charge of the border? That's not too good. That's not. She's a stiff. She's a total stiff, and she lies. She had a news conference today. Oh, Trump wants to, let's see, what can we, he's going to cut Social Security. No, I'm not. I'm the one that saved it. He's going to save Social Security. She's going to lose it. And he's against he's against fertilization. He's against fertilization. She just says anything that comes to her mind. She's a lie. She's worse than Crooked Hillary. At least Hillary was intelligent. She was the very intelligent one. This one is a total stiff. You can't have her as your president. You know, she talks about unity. Oh, unity, unity. Oh, yeah, unity. By the way, he's like Hitler. He reminds me of Hitler. He's a fascist. She's talking about we're going to have unity, and then she calls me a fascist in the next sentence. This is the worst unifier. And you know, Biden was bad, but you know who was a really bad unifier? Barack Hussein Obama. He was a horrible unifier. Horrible. He was a horrible unifier. And not a very good person. Not a very good person. Now, here's the guy, though. The man whose election was ripped away from him like you take candy from a baby. Okay? Crooked Joe Biden. What's better, Sleepy Joe or Crooked Joe? Sometimes I feel like it's Sleepy. Well, now, I don't know. Well, he's gotten him in so much trouble when he called you garbage. Hey, you're not garbage. You're not garbage. This is a hell of a big crowd. Look at that. Goes. I wish the fake news. I wish the fake news would show this crowd. I wish they'd turn the cameras over there as far as the eye can see. Over there. Not one camera's turning. Not one camera. They never turn the cameras. They never want to show the real crowd size. You know, Kamala should never be running right now. She doesn't deserve it. She came in last. She got no votes. Whether you like him or not, I'm not a big fan, but we had a debate. His numbers went down. It can happen, but they took it away from him. You don't take it away. He got 14 million votes in the Democrat Party, and then, oh, that sounds like a nice F-35. You know how many of them I bought? I bought a lot of them. Personally, I like the F-22 the best, by the way. But I think the F-22 is the most beautiful fighter jet ever made. But let's get back into this. That's the weave. Let's get back to the subject. You always end up in the right. You have to always end up in the right place. But crooked Joe Biden, they stole the election from him. They went in. They said, "Crazy Nancy Pelosi," who, by the way, she had a big stake in Visa. And she sold it 2 weeks ago. The following day, it was announced that Visa is under major investigation. Nancy Pelosi sold her Visa stock 1 day before it was announced that they were under investigation. And the fake news doesn't want to report the story. The fake news won't report the story. No. But there's one big difference between crooked Hillary and Kamala. You know what it is? Hillary was far more intelligent than I get. But Hillary didn't lie as much. Hillary was a liar and a scoundrel and a horrible human being, but she didn't lie as much as Kamala. Kamala will get up and say, Trump doesn't want to frack. He will never frack. No, I frack and I drill baby drill. I want to drill baby drill. She'll get up and say, haven't you heard? Donald Trump will not drill baby drill. He will not drill baby drill. No. Fortunately, most people are intelligent and they get it. This one, and we're leading big in the polls, all the polls. This is all you need to know. Kamala broke it, and I will fix it, and I'll fix it very quickly. And with your support, New Mexico, look, don't make me waste a whole damn half a day here, okay? Look, I came here, you know, we can be nice to each other, or we can talk turkey. Let's talk turkey, okay? First of all, Hispanics love Trump. They do. True. I like them. They're smart. They're a lot smarter than the person running for president on the Democrat side. You could say a lot smarter than Biden, too, I can tell you. They're smart. They're entrepreneurial as hell. They're great entrepreneurs, actually. Great small business owners and big business owners, too. But they're great. They work their asses off. That's right. They don't want to get anything for nothing. They want it. They just want a fair, nice, level playing table, and that's what's going to happen. But you know what? No, but did you hear? I'm at the highest point of any Republican in history. Now we're going to, okay, that's one step. Now I'm going to make it of any Democrat also, because I treat you much better than the Democrats. The Democrats, they're destroying your country. They're destroying your country. So I'm here for one simple reason. I like you very much, and it's good for my credentials with the Hispanic or Latino community. You know, on the East Coast, they like being called Hispanics. You know this? On the West Coast, they like being called Latinos. So, poll, give me a free poll. You know, I don't have to spend $300,000. First is going to be Latinos, next is Hispanics, right? Which do you prefer? Latinos. Uh-oh. Let me give it one more shot. Latinos. Hispanics.
He's on fire!
I can't believe it. I had an argument on the plane back there. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I had a little argument on the plane. They said, sir, please use the term Latino when you're in New Mexico. I said, you know, I've always heard Hispanic, and then at some point there is a little area, but I feel more comfortable. Sir, really, you'll be very insulting. I take a poll, and it's 97% I was right. A free poll. As I was saying, I love the Hispanics. I love them. I love Hispanics, and they're hard workers, and boy, are they entrepreneurial, and they're great people, and they are warm. They are warm. Sometimes they're too warm, you want to know the truth. They are warm people. But you have to turn out the record numbers that we need in order to really demand a better future, and you have to go out, you have to vote. We want to win, win, win. We want to take care of the great state of New Mexico. We're going to defeat Kamala Harris, the worst vice president, and we're going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again, and you're going to go back. And, you know, this group, I think this group is so large that if you all went right after this, who's voted? Okay, who is going to vote? That's good. Well, the people that have voted, if you voted against me, shame on you. I'm only going to focus on the people that haven't voted. I'm holding it against you. I should have done this trip about a week earlier, by the way. It's all right. These are minor mistakes. These are minor mistakes. No, it's good to be with you. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. But those people that haven't voted, which is about 40%, get out and vote for Trump, and we're going to have a big victory. We're going to have a big victory. I just want to be proven right. You know, I like to say I'm never wrong because it's good. Remember the hat, the great hat? Trump was never wrong about anything, and it's true. And that's sad because I've made some very bad predictions. With her in office, you'll end up in depressions. You'll end up in third world wars. You'll end up, if anything ever happened, it would be horrible. If she got in, it would be horrible for the future of this country because she's grossly incompetent. She's more incompetent than Biden, and I didn't think I could say that about anybody. Do you think she's happy with him? I don't think so. Do you think she feels good about the language that he's been using lately, like calling us all garbage? Can you imagine the phone calls? What the hell are you doing, Joe? Please, Joe. I'm trying, Joe. I'm at a big disadvantage. You know, they say I'm not smart, no, and then you go and you make it more difficult for me, Joe. What are you doing, Joe? Well, that's the way I feel, because that is the way it feels, probably. But you know who really, I won't use that term on him, but you know who the person is that we don't have too much respect for, right? I mean, you see what we have, and they're destroying our country, and they're ruining your state. They're letting millions of people come into your state. They're ruining your state. And get out there and vote. One of the biggest reasons we will win this state is that you have among the worst border problems of any state in America. And I am the only one that knows how to fix it. I already did fix it. 4 years ago, you didn't have a problem. 4 years ago, you didn't have a problem. Under Kamala, New Mexico has seen millions of people pour across your section of the southern border, including 10,000 convicted criminals and thousands of illegal alien gang members. Congratulations, you now have those gang members in your presence. Yeah, you have a lot of rough hombres, don't you? You have a lot of rough. They're tough hombres. Kamala has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums, and mental institutions. They're emptying out their mental institutions and their prisons and jails from all over the world, and they're coming into the United States of America. We're like a dumping ground. We're like a dumping ground. It's a horrible thing. They come from Venezuela, they come from the Congo, and they're stealing countless American lives. In Las Cruces, Mexico, an illegal alien criminal who was arrested but released from jail. You heard about this, you know about this. It's a big story all over, but especially here. On unsecured bond was charged. Unsecured bond, what is an unsecured bond? The hell are they doing, an unsecured bond? What does that mean? What is that? A bond is supposed to be secured. Was charged with decapitating a man, mutilating his body, and kicking his head around like a soccer ball in the public park. The victim's head was found 30 feet from his body. He had been stabbed multiple times, and his middle finger had been removed. I guess that was a sign of something. Today, I want to have you hear direct. By the way, that person is not being charged like he should be charged. Okay? But today I want you to take a look at something that just came about 2 days ago. We made a tape, which I'm going to show you, and it's a tape of a great mother who I got to know a little bit at one of the rallies, and I heard the story, and she said, I'd love to do this, and it's very sad. Everybody that's seen it, literally they end up, tough men have ended up crying pretty profusely by watching this, so please take a look.
Sunday night, I asked her to not stay up super late because of her coming to work with me in the morning to do her summer school. She said, okay. I told her good night and I love you. I went to bed, not realizing that that was going to be the last time I saw her.
We're best friends.
Yeah. We're going to shake it again.
I woke up to notice she wasn't in her bed. I'm in my heart trying not to lose my mind because I don't know where she is. I finally remembered her phone had a location on, and her phone was pinging just 2 minutes down the road, right behind the skate park. I start driving to the direction the phone was being pinged at, and I see a couple cop cars with lights on. I see yellow tape. And immediately my heart drops and sinks to the bottom of my stomach. My daughter's hands and ankles were both bound. She was strangled to death, left with no pants. And I know in my heart, she fought incredibly hard. She was not going down without a fight.
We begin with two men we're learning are charged with capital murder tonight, accused of killing a 12-year-old girl.
Police say these men strangled her before dumping her into that creek. Both men were in the country illegally.
Apprehended, then released by Border Patrol less than 3 weeks before Jocelyn's death. The men accused of killing Jocelyn Nungare are affiliated with the gang known for brutal violence.
Kamala Harris was in charge of immigration in our borders. If we had better border policies and not open borders and not these catch and release policies, I truly believe this all could have been prevented. Under her being vice president of this country, my daughter's life was ripped away from her. She had her entire life ahead of her.
Happy birthday, dear Jocelyn.
My daughter is 6 feet in the ground based off of policies that she allowed to keep. Kamala Harris did have one job, and she not only failed, not me, she failed my daughter. She failed Jocelyn. You know, she was only 12. President Trump reached out, gave me his sincerest condolences as not a former president, but just as a father, someone who cares. I believe Donald Trump needs to be back in office. I can at least know that my next child will be safe in this country.
So devastating, right? Are they friend or foe? Thank you very much. There are hundreds and even thousands of cases like that, and it's people coming into this country that are horrible people. They're horrible people. I don't like saying that, but they're horrible people. And they come in totally unvetted, totally unchecked through this ridiculous open border policy that she and the radical left have. And the only reason they can want it, I guess two reasons. They think they're going to sign people up to vote, or they're just grossly incompetent, which they are. Maybe it's both. But it's vicious. It's vicious that they do it. People are being killed every single day by illegal migrants coming into this country. These are rough people. These are people that have been in jails and prisons. And again, 13,000 plus murderers have been released into our country, some with the death penalty already stipulated against them. The day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. And the savages charged with brutalizing and murdering Precious, Jocelyn are members of the same vicious Venezuelan prison gang, Tren de Aragua, the most vicious gang, they say, in the world, although I would say MS-13 is right there with them. We took out thousands of MS-13 killers. When I was president, we took them out by the thousands. Before me, they didn't take them out because the countries wouldn't take them back. With me, I said to the countries, you're not going to take them back, right? You're not going to take them back? No more aid for that country. They said, sir, we'd love to take them back. We'd love to take them back. We took them out by the thousands. Two young girls walking down a street in Long Island. For some reason, MS-13 likes Long Island. And we took them out again by the hundreds and hundreds out of Long Island. We saved Long Island. But two girls walking down the street, going to school, 16 years old each, 16 beautiful, perfect, young girls. And they were hit by MS-13 and sliced up with a knife. They didn't want to use a gun because it's too quick. And they sliced them up and killed them, sliced them up into pieces. And those animals are paying a big price right now because of ICE. ICE went in and did a number on them. But we've got to get smart in this country. We've got to get smart. They're taking over apartment complexes. They're unleashing a violent killing spree all across America. In Aurora, Colorado, you've been reading about it. It's terrible. Yes, doctor, please. Doctor in the house, please. Please, take your time, doctor. Thank you. Medic, doctor. Thank you.
It's crazy. This almost happens at every live now. Or, yeah, every Trump rally.
We always have good doctors. That's one thing. We got a lot of doctors here. A lot of doctors. A lot of doctor support. Thank you. You've been waiting here a long time. Thank you. Thank you, doctor. Go ahead.
Zero, because people are standing in lines for hours and hours. Yeah, and there's so many people there. I'm sure once you get your spot, you don't want to move around a whole lot.
You okay, doctor? You okay? Doing well? You tell us. Looks like you're doing okay.
I can't tell if it's hot there or not. The crowd, some people in the crowd have t-shirts on, and other people got winter coats on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guess it's the mid-50s right now. 0. Oh, let me see. 0. I don't think that's the right location.
How about playing a song while the doctor finishes up? You want to do that? How about
Guess 50s are cold in the South.
God Bless America? Go ahead, put it on. If my people can move quickly, put it on. Good. You can sing, and you can sing with this great voice that you're about to hear, if you'd like. All right.
Thanks for getting that, Guess Jay. It's 56 degrees with, what is that, 23% humidity there. When I was visiting Florida, I remember it being like 60 degrees, and everybody thought it was really cold. Like, people were like bundling up and stuff. I was walking around with shorts and a tank top on, but yeah, I see what you mean, Guess some. Here, Juicer, when I lived in LA, people were absolute weenies about anything below 60 degrees. I could see that.
And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly...
Well, we're going to be busy today. This isn't the only Trump live. President Trump will be live holding another rally in Henderson, Nevada at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so 3.5 hours from now. And then tonight, President Trump will be headlining Tucker Carlson's live tour. I guess the event starts at 8. I'm not sure when President Trump is expected on stage. I don't think we're going to be covering the rally in Nevada because we're starting with a rally and we have a ton of news to cover today. But we will be covering Tucker Carlson's live tour where President Trump will be speaking sometime after 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see if I can get an update on what time President Trump is expected on stage for the Tucker Carlson show.
Thank you very much. That wasn't the song I requested, but that was a great song anyway. They got it a little wrong, but that's good. You can never go wrong with Lee Greenwood. That I can tell you. He's great. Well, thank you. And Doctor, I think you're okay over there? Yes? Everyone good? Let's go. Let's go. So, that was very sad, and there are so many sad stories for no reason whatsoever. Open borders. I call them the open borders, stupid policies. These are for stupid people. And we want people to come into our country, but we want them to come in legally. We want them to love our country and to love the people of our country, and will do that, but they can't just walk in from prisons and from all sorts of places. Do you know the crime rates are down in many places, in many cities outside of this country? Because it's all over the world. They're coming in from the Congo. They're coming in from, crime rates are down in Venezuela by 70%, 72%, because they're taking their criminals and depositing their criminals in the United States of America. Thank you very much. And the United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. We are an occupied country. When you see what's going on in Colorado, and I think Colorado is going to vote big for Trump too. They were the ones, the governor over there, he's a weak, ineffective, radical left lunatic. He doesn't know what to do because in Aurora, they're taking over the whole place. But you know what he tried to do? He wanted to get me off the ballot, and the people of Colorado were not happy about it, including Democrats. And we won 9-0 in the Supreme Court. That's what we had to do because of Colorado. And Colorado said, we're going to vote for Trump. That was their form of rebellion. So I hope you do that. I hope you vote for Trump. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered, and we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country, and fast. To expedite removal of the Tren de Aragua and other savage gangs, I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of, listen to this, 1798. That's an old one. You have to go back that far because as we've grown and grown, our politics and politicians have become weaker and weaker. Our laws don't mean anything. It's so bad what's happening to our country, and we're becoming a very unsafe country, but we're going to be a lot more unsafe when you realize that all of the criminals from every country in the world is being deposited right into our nation, and we're not going to take it. But we're using the Alien Enemies Act, think of that, 1798, boy, that's a long time ago, to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil, and it gives tremendous authority to everybody to straighten out our country. We've got to have a country. We've got to have borders. We've got to have fair elections. We've got to have a free press. Look how many people are back there. They're just so many bad. They're so fake. So many of them, they're fake. They're fake. And if these monsters come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or law enforcement officer. And I will immediately ban all sanctuary cities in the United States. We're ending sanctuary cities, which is sanctuary for criminals. As we secure our border, we will bring back our economy, and very simply, I will make America affordable again. It's not affordable. Because these lunatics that we have running our government, they've allowed inflation to rise to a level that we've never seen before, and it's not affordable. They've come down, the prices came down, and now they're going shooting back up again. It's terrible. The job, we've got to get those costs down, and I'm going to get them down. You know how I'm going to get them down? We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill, bring energy down. And we're going to get interest rates down, too. They were at 2% with me, and now they're at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14%, and you can't get the money even if you want to pay it. Kamala Harris cast the deciding votes that launched the worst inflation in our country's history. She cost a typical American family over $30,000 in higher prices. Think of that, $30,000. And now Kamala, a disaster who shouldn't be allowed to run. She has no right to be running. You know what? You know the expression, right? They're a threat to democracy. That's what they are. They are the threat to democracy. Kamala wants to raise the typical family's taxes by nearly $3,000 a year. And I'm announcing today a new step that I'll take to get emergency price relief to all Americans. On day one, I will sign an executive order directing every federal agency to immediately remove every single burdensome regulation driving up the cost of goods. They drive up the cost of goods. We have so many regulations that hurt our country. I cut more regulations times 4 than any president in the history of our country. And that's why we had the greatest economy in history. That's one of the reasons why. The other is I gave you the largest tax cut in the history of our country, including Ronald Reagan. Furthermore, I will create a new cabinet position for a senior member of my administration who will be tasked exclusively with doing everything in the federal government's power to reduce the cost of living. We have to. You not be able to live. And a lot of it is just the regulations and the rules and regulations, which are just a waste of time and money. And everybody, we need regulation, but I have seen regulations where they have 30 regulations for one subject, and the one subject doesn't even matter. All agencies will be judged daily on their progress in slashing the cost of household items. We're going to slash the cost, and this will be the largest and fastest, most aggressive regulatory reduction. It's going to be the largest regulatory reduction in the history of our country, and it's going to happen very fast. Using just very conservative estimates, we will save the typical household $7,000 in the first year alone. With no impact to your life, Jim. No impact at all, just a waste of money. Uh-oh. Osprey. The Osprey. Pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing. They've had some difficulty, but pretty amazing. We will end the inflation nightmare immediately and create a record jobs boom, the likes of which you've never seen before. And we had a record. Think of it, 4 years ago, we were energy independent. And during my administration, we had the most successful economy, the greatest economy in the history of our country. The history of our country. And we had the best job numbers in the history of our country. African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, men, women, people with a degree, young people with a degree in the best schools, young people without a degree at all. Every single group had the best. There wasn't one group that wasn't at the all-time top. We had the most successful administration, and we rebuilt the military. We did so many. We defeated ISIS. We did a lot. I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses, and we will also have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits to your seniors. This liar got up today. She said, Donald Trump is going to cut Social Security. No. She knows I'm not. She's going to destroy Social Security, but I'll never cut it. And I'm never raising the age either. She'll have no choice but to. But what I will cut is the tax on Social Security. So she's a little confused. No, she is a liar. And I'll also support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of their parents or a loved one, a husband, a wife, and they deserve it. You know, without them, you wouldn't have enough hospitals in this country if you doubled them up. You have unbelievable people, angel moms. You have unbelievable people that do a great job, and they're entitled to that. On behalf of the great people of New Mexico, I will end Kamala's war on American energy. You're not going to have any energy. You know, they talk about Pennsylvania, no fracking. If you don't have energy, they're going to take it away. They want to go all electric, everything all electric. Oh, that's going to be wonderful. They want, even in the military, they want all electric army tanks. There's only one problem, they don't work. But they will be environmentally friendly as you blast your way into various enemy cities, right? We'll do it and we will blast our way through into a city in an environmentally friendly way. You know what happens? The battery is so big and so heavy that you will have to carry it in like a wagon on the back, okay? They'll be pulling a battery along in a wagon, and the battery's so heavy, they don't even know if the tank is gonna have the power to do it. The whole thing is crazy. It doesn't go far. It doesn't have the right torque. These are minor details. The whole tank is so heavy that if it goes over a bridge, you're gonna have to rebuild all the bridges. Same thing with the trucks. They wanna make all trucks, all electric. The problem is they weigh 2.5 times more because of the battery. They don't go far enough. And because of the weight, by the way, it would mean we would have to build and rebuild. Every bridge in the United States of America has to be rebuilt to handle the weight of all electric trucks. I said to the head of the trucker, one guy has 28,000 trucks. I said, that's a lot. He's been buying them for his whole life. He said, I've been buying trucks for 50 years, sir, and every year they got better, bigger, stronger, more beautiful. We build those apartments on the back of that trailer right now, sir. You'd be proud to live in one of them. I said, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. Maybe I would. I probably would. They're beautiful. You see it. But every year, he said, for 50 years, they've gotten more efficient. They've gotten better. And now they want us to go all electric. And we'd be going back 50 years and much more. 50 years ago, a truck was better than the best electric truck today. So I said, did you explain that to the authorities as they burst into your office to demand that you go all electric? Said, I explained it. What they say, we don't give a damn. We want you to go all electric. This is what we're dealing with. It's like it's like Gestapo stuff, okay? They use that term. It's like Gestapo stuff. What they're doing to our country is unbelievable. And you talk about a supply chain. I said, how many stops would you have to make for electric? 6 to Los Angeles, New York to Los Angeles. 6 stops, sir, and we have no chargers. I said, that's a problem too. Do you know they built 8 charging stations? You know what a charging station is? The same thing as a pump with gasoline, except electric is there. It comes, you put it in, right? Do you hear this story? $9 billion they've spent for 8 charging stations in the Midwest. So you're about ready to run out of electric, and they say, sir, if you go 300 miles to the north, there's a charging station up there. It would cost us to do the necessary charging stations. It would cost us, they say, about $10 trillion. That's like $10 trillion to do the necessary. And you know what? I'm not against electric. I think they're incredible. I think they have a purpose. I think Tesla's great. I think Elon, I mean, he endorsed me, gave me the best. I think they have a great purpose. But you can't go all electric. You want gasoline-powered cars. You want hybrids. You want hybrids. You want a lot of different things. New things are emerging. But you can't have that. But they want all electric within a very short period of time. Also, they're going to all be made in China. You know that. We have gasoline. We have all the gasoline you could ever. They have, and it's clean too. They have what's necessary for batteries, China. So why are we playing into their hands like this? Because we're run by stupid fools. Stupid fools. If Kamala is reelected, New Mexico's economy will be reduced to rubble. You're not going to be drilling oil. There's no more drilling. There's no more oil. You can forget it. We want to go off. You know, Germany tried it for about 9 months. That's the end of that one. She was gone right after that. They tried it. They almost lost their country. And they went back to it. Now they're building a coal plant a week. I mean, they've gone from one extreme to the other. But Germany tried it. China's building a coal plant a week. Kerry goes to meet with President Xi. He says, I'd like you to go environmentally friendly. Okay, we'll do that. Get out of here. Go back. Tell them we're going to do it. In the meantime, they keep doing whatever the hell they want to do. And all that air, by the way, comes over our country in 3.5 days. So we're out there, nice clean air, but the air from China blows over our country every 3.5 to 4 days. And when they dump their garbage into the ocean, it floats on by in the Pacific. It floats on by Los Angeles. It's a lovely sight to see. We end up picking up their garbage, right? because we allow that to happen. We won't allow that to happen. We're not going to allow that to happen. You know, China, when I was president, paid us hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs. When all of the other people, I won't use names, but when they were, China never paid them 10 cents. Not paid, they didn't pay us 10 cents. I got hundreds of billions of dollars, and they were fine. I had a good relationship with them, had a great relationship with President Xi until the China virus hit our shores, in which case that was a bridge too far. But we did a great job on that. Never got the credit for that. We got a credit for the economy, for the military, rebuilt the entire military. Got great credit for not having started wars. Right to try. How about right to try? How good was that, right? Right to try. Kamala has vowed to ban fracking. She will destroy over 90,000 oil and gas jobs in New Mexico. They'll put your state will go back to a level of poverty. New Mexico is going to go back to a level of poverty. Going to wipe out 35% of your state's budget. On day one, I will end Kamala's devastating national gas export ban. Do you believe we have a ban? A lot of people don't know that. And we'll immediately terminate the Green New Scam. That will be such an honor. The greatest scam in the history of any country. I will cancel her insane electric vehicle mandate. It'll be ended on day one. We'll end that one. And I'll cut your energy prices in half within 12 months from entering office. January 20th, we enter office. Within 12 months, all of your energy bills, your car, your air conditioning, your heating, everything will be 50%, 5-0. Despite all of the damage she's caused, Kamala has spent the final week of her failing campaign comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. That's what she's doing to me. 2 days ago, Joe Biden called our supporters garbage. You're garbage. He said they're garbage. He called you garbage. He called all of us garbage. We're garbage. I remember the word deplorable. Do you remember the word deplorable? How did that work out, Hillary? Not too good. But they mean it, even though without question my supporters are of far higher quality and I think much smarter than Crooked Joe or Lion Kamala. My response to Joe and Kamala is simple. You can't lead America if you don't love America. You can't do it. You can't be president if you hate the American people, and I think they hate the American people. I'll bet you we're 250 million people we're talking about. I'll bet we're 250 million people. Remember, it's called Make America Great Again. Who's against that? Remember Joe? Remember Joe before he gave up and quit? He quit like a little loser. He quit. I will hand over my presidency. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will hand over my presidency. No, he quit. He won, and then he walked into his office. You can't win. So she's not going to win either, by the way. That's the beauty. This can only happen to me. I'm the one. I have to fight two people, not one. I have to go. Everyone else they can beat once. So we spent 150 million beating this guy. Never even mentioned her name. Nobody even knew who the hell she was, except she was incompetent. So we fight, and we're beating him. We have the debate. We did well. He didn't do too good. And then his numbers are down. They go in. They take away his presidency. They literally took away his presidency. And now they say it's like going to Dana White. You know Dana White, UFC. And he sees the fight going on, and the one guy's getting beaten badly. They say, let's take him out and put somebody else in. You don't do that stuff. But they did it. Not a democracy. You don't do that. And, you know, she was last out of the 13 people. She was last. They started off with 22, actually. She was last. She was the first one to be defeated. She got wrecked. She got killed. She was the first one. She never made it to the great state of Iowa. We love Iowa, too. Never made it to Iowa. She never made it. She was defeated before she was the first one out of 22 people to quit. And she becomes the person I have to run against, right? Just not, I don't care. I think I'm probably happier. They have much more capable people than her. But you know what? What they did was wrong. They went in and they told somebody, you're getting out, we're taking over. And they actually took over the presidency of the United States. Think about it. Kamala Harris is not fit to be president of the United States. She doesn't have the intellect, the stamina, or that special quality that real leaders must have to lead. You know, Brett Favre yesterday in Wisconsin, he's great. He endorsed me, never did that before. He endorsed me, gave me a strong endorsement. And I was thinking about her, I'm talking about her, and there's Brett Favre sitting there with her hands. He has got hands, I never saw it. He's got fingers like sausages. That's why he could fling that ball 80 yards down the field. And I'm saying, how do you even compare? You're talking about him. He was a leader, the won Super Bowl, and had some of the best quarterback stats ever. But great. I mean, it was such an honor. And I'm thinking about, here's a guy who was a leader. He was a leader on the field. He'd be screaming at his guys. They weigh 100 pounds more than him. Although I tell you, he's a big guy. I was surprised. He's tall, but he is a strong sucker. And he comes out. And I'm looking at him and I'm talking about her in terms of leadership. And I say, can you imagine we're even having them in the same room? It's so ridiculous. Joe Biden's comments were the direct result of Kamala's decision to portray everyone who isn't voting for her, which is a hell of a lot of people, as evil and subhuman. Can you believe that? Evil. And we're evil and subhuman. And we know it's what they believe because look at how they've treated you. They've treated you like garbage. Look on the border. Look at New Mexico. You have the worst problem probably in the whole country. They're flowing in like you're a federal highway. They're flowing into your state at levels that nobody else has to see. For the past 9 years, Kamala and her party have called us racist, bigots, fascists, deplorables, irredeemables, Nazis, and they called me Hitler. I'm Hitler, that's what they say. They've bullied you, they've demeaned you, they've demonized us, they've censored us, deplatformed us, and weaponized the power of our government against their political opponent, me. I've had more investigations than Alphonse Capone. Alphonse Capone would kill a person just by looking. If he didn't like the person, even tough guys like these guys over here, if Alphonse didn't like you, you were gone. And I've had more investigations than Scarface. That's Alphonse Capone. My father would be looking down. He said, how the hell did that happen to my son, my boy, my beautiful boy? How did that happen? How did that happen? I'm pretty sure he'd be looking down. I know my mother would be looking down. My father. He'd be looking down. He was a tough guy, but he was a good guy. He had a big, beautiful heart. They've taken away your money, thrown open your borders to criminals and terrorists, flooded your towns with deadly drugs and death, given your jobs to illegal migrants, and sent our blood and treasure to fight stupid foreign wars in countries that you've never heard of. This Tuesday is your chance to stand up and declare that you're not going to take it anymore. What we've built is the biggest, broadest, most incredible coalition and the greatest political movement in American history. There's never been a movement like this, not even close. We've brought together veterans and union members, soldiers and steelworkers, farmers and auto workers, and patriotic moms and dads of every race, religion, color, and creed. We're welcoming historic numbers of African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, and Arab Americans. Let me tell you, when the numbers come out, you're going to see the worst African American numbers that we've ever seen, because these people that are pouring into our country are taking African American jobs at levels that nobody's ever seen, and they're trying to keep, I know the numbers, they're trying to keep the numbers quiet until after the election. They have 5 more days, but they want to keep them quiet. They should release them right now. African Americans, and to a lesser extent, but a lot, Hispanic Americans are losing their jobs to people that are illegally coming into our country. And we ought to demand it. I demand it of the fake news, but they're useless. These guys are useless. They don't even talk about it. And they know it. And they know it. They know what the numbers are, too. They're taking African-American jobs at a level that nobody can even comprehend. And it's damn unfair. These are American citizens. It's damn unfair. We're uniting Christians and Jews, Catholics and evangelicals, Muslims and Mormons, and everyone who simply wants to do one thing. What do they want to do? Make America great again. That's all they want to do. Our campaign has been endorsed by 400,000 members. Think of this, 400,000 members of the Fraternal Order of Police, by the Border Patrol agents, unanimously, think of it, unanimously, and the strongest endorsement you've ever heard, by the rank and file membership of the Teamsters. That's something no Republican ever had, 62%. They have a great head of the Teamsters, so I will say, Sean O'Brien, he's a great leader of the Teamsters, I will say that. By Elon Musk, a great one. When I watched that rocket come in last week, I said, any guy can do that. I want that endorsement, right? He gave me the... You know where he is right now? He's in Pennsylvania, and what he's doing is campaigning for me because he said it's the most important single decision in American history because we're going to lose our country. We have the endorsement of somebody who's terrific, not easy. He's been, I mean, the family's been slightly Democrat for a long time, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. RFK Jr. He's going to help us on health and the health of women, and men, and children, and he is so good and so into it, and you'll see he's going to do a great job. I may keep him away from the liquid gold. I told him, listen, I love you, I think you're great, but stay away from my liquid gold. We're going to make a lot of money with that. We're going to pay off debt. We're going to lower taxes. We have Tulsi Gabbard, a highly respected person who just turned Republican. And the great astronaut Buzz Aldrin, who never endorsed, just yesterday, he never endorsed anybody in his life, and he endorsed a guy named Donald Trump. Kamala and Joe, call them, all of them also, they're in your group now. She calls them garbage, and he calls them garbage. Oh, you can imagine their conversations. But I call you the heart and soul of America. I call you the people that built our country. You're the people that built our country. We're especially excited to have the support of record numbers of Hispanic Americans and Latinos. And right here in New Mexico, we're going to win a record share of the Hispanic American vote. We're going to win. We're going to get tremendous. So if I did nothing else, at least the Hispanics are going to say, we love this guy, because I've set so many records. You know, we won Miami. We did things like win Miami. We won the entire border along Texas, which is mostly Hispanic. It's 80%, 85%. The governor of Texas, a good guy, Governor Abbott, called. He said, sir, you won the entire border running along Texas, between Texas and Mexico. I said, so why are you surprised? He said, it never happened before. Hispanics want great jobs, rising wages, and safe communities. You don't want vicious gang members getting dumped into your state. And you don't want Kamala teaching your children that they can change their gender anytime they want. And many Hispanics are also Catholics, and Kamala is persecuting Catholics. What's with Catholics? Any Catholic that votes for her should immediately have your head examined. They are persecuting Catholics. And remember this, evangelicals are next, okay? It's very simple. We're with you. What they're doing is unbelievable. They're persecuting Catholics. So, we have a lot of Catholics. Who's Catholic here? Who's Catholic? A lot. That's a lot. We're trying to turn that movement that the government has. We're going to turn it down. We're going to turn that thing down and off. And my first day in office, there'll be no more persecutions of Catholics or anybody else. Kamala even suggested that being Catholic disqualifies you from running for office. She's about 75 years out of date. Didn't they have that with Kennedy? They had that with a lot of people. A lot of Catholics were persecuted they couldn't run for office. And now she's going to start that whole thing up again. The woman is a disaster. And ready? I shouldn't say this about an opponent, but I have to. Because you know what? We can't take a chance on her. She's dumb as a rock. She's dumb as a rock. Did you see where her teleprompter went off last week? Two weeks ago, she's like, 32. And now the teleprompter freezes. Happens all the time. I have my good teleprompter guy back there. He's excellent, but every once in a while, no matter how good they are, this sucker breaks down. But I haven't been using it too much today, to be honest. Hey, isn't it nice? I always say, isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter? Right? But her teleprompter broke down 3 weeks ago. Goes, and 32 days, she meant 32 days are left in the campaign. 32. Oh, 32. Did you see this? 32. 32. Oh, and I'm saying, oh, man, I was watching. I said, she's lost it. 32. And then, boom, it kicked back. You know, sometimes it doesn't. If you're going to be a politician, you have to know they have backup. See this? This is a backup. But, you know, if you have to use that backup, you're in big trouble because, oh, it broke. Now you got to find the page. It's not good. You're just better off just wing it, do whatever the hell you have to do. This is backup. All I have to do is figure out what the hell page it's on, you know, little things like that. No, if you're a politician, if you want to run for office, I have a friend, he wanted to, a very smart guy, very successful guy, made a lot of money and all. He saw what I'd done. He wants to run for the Senate. And I say, well, do you have any problems, anything back? No, I have one problem, though. I have like this terrible phobia. I'm afraid to speak in front of people. I said, let me give you a little suggestion. Don't waste your time. You got it. Can you imagine that? He had a problem, little phobia about speaking in front of people. That would not be good. So he was actually hoping for small groups instead of large groups. Hey, do we have large groups? Oh, look at this group. If the fake news would show it, it would be so. They never show it. And you know, we do the videos a little bit for the great crowds, because when we have a good crowd like in New Mexico, that stuff is expensive to put up, right? But when we have a good crowd, we put it up. They never show it. A friend of mine on television loves to watch the rallies. He says, but the one problem is whenever they go for a clip, you saw a clip just now. It was a sad clip. Jocelyn, it was a sad clip. But you saw that. All that camera, see those cameras? They're right at me. All they have to do is go 1 inch to the right and 1 inch up, and they've got it. They say they never play the videos. I didn't know that until he said that. That's terrible. So it's blank. You know what they do? They show me standing here for 2 minutes, right? No, it's very unfortunate. And they don't do that because they don't want the public to really see the facts. It's so easy to do. 1 inch to the right or left and 1 inch up, and they won't do it. And I shame them, and I shame them also about crowd size. I say, show the crowds. How about her? She couldn't get a crowd the other night. She got Beyonce. Beyonce walked out, said something, walked back, didn't sing a song, and they booed both of them the hell out of the area. No, she can only get a crowd if she gets some person to sing. I don't have to sing. I don't have a guitar. If I had a guitar, would I do even better? We'd have even bigger crowds, right? We'd have even bigger crowds. Kamala Harris is a low IQ individual. She's running a campaign of hate, anger, and retribution. She's now talking about what she's going to do on the border, but why didn't she do it before? 4 years almost. Or what she's going to do about inflation. She's talking about, I'm going to do this and that. She doesn't know what she's talking about, by the way. You have a depression of 1929. She said what she's going to do about inflation, but why didn't she do it before? It's almost 4 years. Or what she's going to do to help the economy. But then I ask, why the hell didn't you do it before? She and Crooked Joe head up the worst administration in the history of our country. They've made one man, he's getting up there in age, just celebrated his 100th birthday, but they made him a very happy man because compared to them, his administration looks absolutely brilliant. Jimmy Carter. And in all fairness to Jimmy, he didn't let 21 million people pour into our country, many of them criminals and mentally ill people that should be in hospitals. He didn't do that. 2 nights ago, Kamala made a speech with a paid-for audience. You can always tell when the buses pull up and they're all the same. I was actually, it's a good-looking bus company. I think I'm going to use it sometime. But we don't need buses, do we? No, the buses, they get these people from someplace, they pay them, and they send them in. Oh, she got a wonderful crowd today. And then you see the people that she's making a speech, they're all looking at their phone, blah, 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 calling their girlfriend, calling their boyfriend. But all she talked about was Donald Trump.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I will speak about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, 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 Trump.
That's all she talked about. And that's it. That was exact. Although I got that from a fake news network, so you never know. No, that's all she talked about is Donald Trump. Let's talk about the economy. Donald Trump, this woman she suffers from a major case of Trump derangement syndrome. But many Democrats do, and that's because we're winning. We're winning by a lot. Everything Kamala says is a lie. She says that I want to take away Medicare and Social Security. That's a lie. You know that because for 4 years I just made it stronger. She says I want to end Obamacare and take away your health care. That's a lie. It's a lie. If we come up with something better, that'll be great. And everybody wants that because Obamacare sort of sucks. It's too expensive for the people. She talks about Project 2025. Which I have absolutely nothing to do with. She says, I know that because of Project. Well, we've denied that. I have no idea what Project 2025 is. I've never read it, and I never will. But they make it sound like it's from me. She says, I want to ban IVF, a total outrageous lie. In fact, I'm going to require insurance companies to pay for IVF. And that was long. And many other things. I'm going to protect your Medicare, your Social Security. We're never ending it. She said we're in it. She never heard me say it. If she ever heard me, let her prove it. She gets up and lies. He's going to end Social Security. No, the nice thing is we can fight back because we have a voice, so we can fight back. We can tell you what's true and what's not true. But Kamala's open borders catastrophe, this is what's going to kill your Social Security. Her open borders will kill Social Security, Medicare, and frankly, will kill our country as a whole. It's going to kill us. According to a recent study, Kamala's plan, giving free health care for illegals, will rob Medicare of over $2 trillion. It will never recover, and I will never let it happen. The reason Kamala's campaign has been reduced, this desperate, pathetic stream of hoaxes and lies, is very simple. She's a liar. The entire world can see. She's a total train wreck. And by the way, I looked at her this morning. She had a little news conference. It lasted for like 2 minutes. She's exhausted. You know? She's exhausted. She's a train wreck who is totally unqualified to be the president of the United States of America. There are some people who thrive under pressure, and there are some people who crack under pressure. She's a cracker. And the more pressure Kamala has, the more you see it happening. No, she's cracking. She's a bad person because anybody that lies like that, knowing that it's a lie, just put it out. Just have to tell you because you have to understand it. When you see it, at least this way you know it. You know, a lot of people say, sir, don't go down in the gutter with her. I said, well, how will people know she's lying if I don't say the truth, right? Am I right? She says it. But being a candidate is nothing compared to the pressure of being president itself, because I've done both. If she can't handle going on The View, where she made a horrible mistake, You know the mistake she made? She can't think of anything she'd do different from Biden. That should cost her 75% of the votes, and the 25 that vote for her, they're not the smartest people in the world. She can't think of anything she'd do essentially different from crooked Joe Biden. Do you know that 325,000 young children were killed or are sex slaves or slaves right now who came through this horrible open border? Think of what that means. Many, many stadiums full of the biggest stadium and many stadiums. 325,000 children are right now dead, never to be seen by their parents again, or sex slaves or slaves. And they're missing, and they'll probably be never seen again. This is not a charity event. This is an election for the biggest and toughest job in history. There's no tougher job than being president. And we get hit from the enemy inside. You know that, right? We get hit by the Adam Schiffs of the world. He's scum, total scum. They made up Russia hoax. They made up all the impeachment hoaxes. They make it up. They're bad people. There's no participation trophy for incompetent candidates. Do you want to lose your life savings because we put a weak and foolish person in the White House? You'll lose it real quick. You'll lose your country. But do you want to lose your job or maybe your house or pension because Kamala has the economic understanding of a child? Did you ever hear her speak? They ask her a question on economic footing, and she's like a child. She says, well, I was born on a house with grass in the front of the house. I was born on a house with grass. She uses that answer all the time. And how about 60 Minutes? 60 Minutes, they interview me all the time. But they go at me, oh, they want to get me, with her, all softballs. And she gives one answer that was so incompetent that you'd have her examined under Article 25, actually. She'd be gone. But it was so bad. What do they do? CBS, they're licensed by the United States government because of fairness. 60 Minutes, right? What did they do? They took her answer. It was a long, horrible answer. I don't like the word salad term, but that's what it was. It was a word, just words all over the place. They didn't mean anything. They took it out in its entirety, didn't leave one word, and replaced it with an answer that she gave in another section of the interview. Nobody's ever seen. I think it's this is really interference with an election, fraudulent interference with an election. It's never, I can't imagine, and I think they probably did it with a lot of others. They refused to give us the documents. So you know what? If you want me to, I will sue them. Should I? Because they are among the most, see the media? They're among the most dishonest people that we have. They're the biggest, I think they're maybe the biggest problem that the country has. They lie and they cheat. So 60 Minutes, a news magazine, part of the news organization, they took the answer out and replaced it with a different answer. The presidency is a job held by Teddy Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Dwight Eisenhower, FDR, you could name them. This is a job that has to be held by somebody with a high level of intelligence. Would you trust Kamala Harris to talk to Russia or China and talk about keeping us out of war? I don't think so. Would you trust her to steer us out of an economic crisis? I don't think so. But nothing is more dangerous than to give immense power to a weak and not very smart person, just not a smart person. We need smart. In fact, I call for it, but I would love to have it. We should have cognitive tests for anybody that runs for president and vice president. Oh, how about that guy she picked for vice president? What a loser. What a loser that one is. I mean, that guy, could you imagine? Well, she picked somebody so bad that there is a certain rule. Make them really bad and they'll never take you out, right? But you wouldn't put Kamala Harris in charge of a kindergarten class. She wouldn't be in charge of a kindergarten class. So at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, can you afford to put someone this incompetent in charge of our country's future? The answer is no. And she shouldn't be there. She got no votes. She shouldn't be there. On top of it all, Kamala says she would not do one thing differently from Joe Biden. Think of that. And he's the worst president in our history. By definition, what she said is disqualifying. Take a look.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
A fifth illegal immigrant accused of attacking 2 New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Only 18% say the economy is in excellent or good condition. US inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
Authorities saying Train de Aragua, which has been linked with more than 100 criminal investigations here in the U.S., has now been found operating its criminal enterprise in apartment complexes.
Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
Prostitute.
So if you want to end this disaster that's going on all around us, you must get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. So we're thrilled to be joined by a lot of great people, a lot of real patriots. One of them is Mark Wayne Mullen, the senator from Oklahoma. And where's Mark Wayne? Where is Mark Wayne? Do you want to come up? Look, he's standing there. I think he wants to come up. But fast, Mark Wayne. He's a great athlete. He's a great wrestler, a great champion. He's a great champion. He is a great champion.
Guys, I am so proud to be here with my president, our fighter, right? The fighter that's going to fight back against this overreaching Democrat Party that's trying to literally go after all of our freedoms. This guy, I know a little bit about fighting, and when I see a fighter like this, he's a guy that makes me proud, a guy that's going to fight for not only us, but our children, and the children coming after that. Our fighter, the country fighter, the people's fighter, the one that's going to bring down inflation, the one that's going to bring down energy costs, the one that's going to bring back our economy, the one that's going to secure our border. The man that showed great leadership and courage during an assassination attempt. The man that stood up and shook his fist and said, "Fight, fight, fight." Our fighter, my friend, President Donald J. Trump, is going to get our country back on track. God bless you all for being here.
Thank you. Great guy, highly respected gentleman. So I'd like to just ask a couple of people to stand up. Candidate for Senate, where's Nella? Where is Nella? Where is Nella? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, congratulations. I hear you're doing very well, Nella. Go out and vote, Nella. Thank you, darling. Great. Great. Yeah, I heard you're doing great. You really should. She's fantastic. Congress is always looking for good people, and we have somebody that is great. Where's Yvette? Good, Yvette. Thank you, Yvette. a very special guy and a friend of mine, and he knows we did great the last time. Boy, did we do good. That's the one thing we have to watch, and he knows it better than anybody. Steve Pierce. Steve, thank you. Head of the Republican Party. He's the chairman of the Republican Party. Former New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez. Thank you. Former Vice President of the Navajo Nation, Myron Lizer. Myron Lizer. Thank you. Thank you, Myron. And a great developer from New York and Florida, all over the country, a friend of mine, one who's very generous. Anytime there's a problem with hurricanes or tornadoes or anything, he's always there and always helping and writing big checks. Mr. Steve Witkoff, he's here someplace. Steve, thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. So here are the facts just in closing. Kamala is a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than crazy Bernie Sanders and Pocahontas herself. She destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of Defund the Police, a movement that's so horrible that anybody even thinking about it is not qualified to be president. Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. These are great heroes. These are people that love our country. And they're tough and they're strong, and they got thousands of MS-13 gang members out of here. Nobody else would do it. As California Attorney General, Kamala redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as totally nonviolent crimes. She pledged to confiscate your guns. Would anybody like to give up your gun? And wants a total ban on handgun ownership. She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention at taxpayer expense. And what else did she do? She lied about working at McDonald's, right? So with your vote this November, we're going to fire Kamala, and we're going to save America. We will cut taxes, end inflation, slash your prices. We're going to get those prices down. Raise your wages and bring thousands of factories back to America and back to New Mexico. We're going to bring them back. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were president. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East. I will prevent World War III from happening. We've never been so close. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. We will build a missile defense shield over our country, all made in the USA, and a lot of it made in New Mexico. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe and clean and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our school. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty, I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build our country, our nation. We're going to make our nation bigger and better and stronger again. And we will finally protect our citizens the way they're supposed to be protected. We're going to protect our citizens. And we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope, and filled with something you don't hear much of anymore, filled with the American dream. We're going to bring back the American dream for your children. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is too big to rig. You need to get out and vote, New Mexico. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. With your vote in this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It belongs to you. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country. And 5 days from now, it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help from now until Election Day, 5 days, we will restore America's promise. We will take back the nation that we love. We love our nation so much. We hate to see what's happened to it in the last 4 years. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down. We will never, ever surrender. Together, we will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win.
He's on fire!
November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. We are in a failing nation. We are in a nation in decline. We will not be in a nation in decline for long. It's going to end very soon. We're going to have a thriving, magnificent nation again, more so than it ever has been. We're going to do things that nobody believed, and we're going to have safety in our nation again. We're going to have great safety in our nation. Together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, New Mexico. God bless you all. God bless you all. Thank you, New Mexico. What a crowd. Thank you.
Well, hooligans, there you have it. President Trump live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's out there getting it. I guess from what it sounds like, that's a blue area, but you can't tell. You can't tell with how many people showed up. Well, we still have all this coffee ahead of us. Like I said, President Trump will be holding another rally in Henderson, Nevada at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is about 2.5 hours from now. We are not going to be covering that rally because we've already started with the rally, but we will have President Trump again later today. He's supposed to be headlining Tucker Carlson's live tour. I guess the tour live begins at 8, but I'm not really sure when President Trump is expected on stage. We'll get that stuff figured out when we get closer to the end of the day. We have so much news to cover. We'll be starting out with a video titled "Security Tight as Ballots Flood into Counting in LA," trying to build voter confidence. I still don't think it's that trustworthy, but that's what they're trying to portray. Then we got a video titled "DHS Employees Issue Chilling Warning on Tim Walz, Alleged Ties to the Top U.S. Advisory," saying that Tim Walz may be in connection with the CCP. He may be a controlled individual, which I feel like should just disqualify him right off the rip, but I guess not. Then we got a video titled "Border Experts Call Out Copycat Kamala for the Switch Up on Illegal Border Crossers." Apparently, Hyena Harris is talking about doing mass deportations now, which is interesting considering she let them all in. But they do talk a bit about what President Trump said the other day, that once he gets into office, they will be confiscating assets that belong to the cartels and using the money and stuff from all of that to build kind of a I don't know, a pool of money that would go towards victims of border crossers and stuff like that. So it's kind of a little follow-up in that story there. Then we have another follow-up video. It's talking about, or it's titled, Victory for Virginia. SCOTUS rules state can remove suspected non-citizen voters. We've been covering 2 or 3 times that in Virginia there was like 1,600 people that were removed from the voter rolls because they had self-proclaimed to be non-citizens. Some liberal judge told the state they had to put those non-citizens back on the voter roll and let them vote, but the Supreme Court says no, you cannot let them vote in Virginia. So it's definitely a win for our Constitution. Then we got a video titled CNN bans commentator from network after verbal attack on live TV. These are soft people doing soft things. It's just funny for us to watch. It doesn't really affect our lives in any kind of way. It's just humorous watching them eat each other. Then we got a video titled Conspiracy Theories Sound Off as U.S. network ABC mistakenly airs election results. ABC News is claiming that Harris won Pennsylvania, but everyone hasn't voted yet. So they're already doing their lying, cheating, stealing thing, like we've been covering that. Anyways, got a little bit more of it. However, in that video they provide details, but they do a very shitty job of showing you what they showed on the screen. So I went and got the picture, and that way we will show that during the video so you can actually see what they are talking about. Then we have an interesting video titled Old Man Shit Your Pants Puts Baby's Foot in His Mouth at the White House Halloween event. Old man Walter, he's trying to eat those babies right in front of everybody. I don't know what's wrong with that lady for bringing her child up there. Old man shit your pants. Then we got a video titled Biden refers to millions of President Trump's supporters as garbage. We were covering the rally when this news broke. We have the actual clip of him saying this, which we were going to show yesterday, but then yesterday fell apart. So in this clip, we're going to pay close attention because after that, we have 4 different videos that are all related to that subject. And old man Walter, he just says Trump supporters are garbage. But then he went back and made a post on X claiming that things were taken out of context. Then we have KJP suggests Biden's garbage comment was taken out of context. It's KJP telling stories and making excuses for old man Walter. Then we got a video titled Harris responds to Biden's garbage comments. Then we have President Trump behind the scenes. It's a clip from Art of the Surge where you get to see how President Trump operates behind the scenes. It reminds me of how me and the Hooligans operate in these communities and stuff while we're navigating for things to come in the future or dealing with suspicious individuals and things like that. President Trump is always working. So then that'll bring us into our feel-good videos of the day as well. Well, it's pretty much a whole bunch of feel-good videos of the day. First one's titled, He Called Us Garbage, but really we're taking out the trash. Then we have from yesterday, Trump walking out on stage in a garbage man vest. And then how Trump was convinced to wear the vest. And then our official funny video or feel-good video of the day is titled, President Trump and Melania handing out candy to trick-or-treaters since today is Halloween. All of that is on the menu today. And we're going to go ahead and jump into things here. Now, before we do, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to join the website, right now is the time to do it. Go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can watch today's live. You can post in Hooligans Alley. Plus, you'll be able to join us Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for our voice chat, which is a lot of fun. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. Like I said, we're going to start with this first video here. Let me get it pulled up. It's titled Security Tight as Ballots Flood in for Counting in L.A. They're trying to make us think the elections don't suck as much as they do. Either way, let's go ahead and get into this. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. Oh, actually, I want to give a huge shout out to Rumble. I was talking to Rumble Rick yesterday. He wrote me on X to let me know that he was unable to make the Zoom call, which I didn't realize he was going to be a part of the Zoom call. But he wrote me to let me know that he did intend on being a part of the Zoom call where me and Team Rumble work things out with the platform being blurry. But he had to be in Florida for some other things, some updates coming to locals. But he's hoping that we get to meet in the future. And I think Rumble Rick is such a badass because no platform would do that for us. If we were having issues on YouTube or Twitch or something like that, and I reached out to customer service, they would just blame me and kick us to the side. Rumble, although they weren't very quick on the response, they did make sure that we were good to go. I sat on a Zoom call for over an hour with 2 techs from Rumble, not customer service, not people out in China or somewhere, but people who actually keep the server running every day for Rumble. Got in, did a call, we did some screen sharing stuff, got everything dialed in, found out it was actually on their end, but they showed me how to change my settings so we could get around that issue that they're having until they get it fixed. Like I said, no other platform would do that for us, and Rumble Rick made sure that it happened. So huge shout out to Rumble Rick as well as Team Rumble itself, because you guys are badasses. Thank you so much for helping us. All right, so we're going to get into this. Once again, this is Security Tight as ballots flood in for counting in LA.
We process all the ballots here. In this election, by the time we certify, I think that could be in excess of 3 million ballots. Now, whether we have all of those in on election night is a question, and that's why we're encouraging voters to vote early and give us the opportunity to make sure that we have the bulk of those ballots in our count on election night.
Our deputies will securely transport the sealed ballots that was mentioned earlier throughout the day to all the voting centers and processing centers by both patrol cars and by helicopter. Again, we do that every year. We're very good at it. On election day, we will be on heightened alert to ensure the safety and security of all of our residents and polling locations. And I want to make this clear. We will not tolerate any actions from individuals who seek to either intimidate or disrupt our democratic process.
Well, like I said, they're trying to convince us that our elections are fair and safe and whatever, even though there's a couple states out there that apparently only do mail-in voting, and you're supposed to just trust the mail system with all of that. I've been trying for like 3 days to get this package in the mail. They won't drop off in front of the door. Stupid mail systems. I don't trust it, but we still gotta go vote. Gotta do our part. We gotta make sure we do what we're supposed to do regardless of what everyone else does. That way when everyone else fucks it up for us, we have something to bitch about because we did the right thing despite what everybody else is doing. Next up, we got DHS employee issues chilling warning on Tim Walz' alleged ties to top U.S. adversary. I don't know why they try to do this deceitful wording. Tim Walz may be connected to the CCP, says DHS. That seems pretty damning. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat. See what you hooligans think about the safety of our elections. Breeze by you. I don't trust the mail system for anything. I don't either. We need hooligan mail. That's what we need. We need our own mail service. It's everything but what we do just seems to suck out there. I don't know. It's never good enough. We need people who care about what they do and like doing a good job, you know? People that try. People like us. Here, Juicer, were those drug dogs? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They were just happy to be there. That was all I could tell for sure. Welcome back, Tin Man. Happy freedom to you. You went and did the thing this morning. You mean you voted? Or that other thing? It's badass, Tin Man. I can't wait to go vote. Paul, no way voting is safe. It can be fixed. Yeah. They like it loose and goose over on the blue team. It's the only way they can win. It's the only way they could win is if they cheat. Pumpkin, are they trying to reassure voters? I guess. They didn't say a whole lot, but they had cop dogs, so that's how you know it's safe. They brought the dogs with them. Must be safe. What's up, Stoner? Happy freedom. Dunn, did you see the story about the Chinese guy that voted in Michigan? He's facing jail time, but his vote still counts. No, Dunn, I didn't see that. But I'm not surprised, though. Gretchen Whitmer, she's a terrible person. We are the show. They're going to cheat for sure, but if we show up, we win. That's right, we are the show. And they are. They are. We've covered 4 or 5 videos of all kinds of inaccuracies happening. I actually just seen one a moment ago, a new one that's circulating on X right now that will most likely be a part of tomorrow's live. It's just every day more cheating. But that's why we got to show up. We got to be the red swamp. We got to swamp them on election day. Red tsunami. That's what it is. Got to be that red tsunami. Where the show Dude Never Sleeps? No, I don't know how President Trump keeps it going. He's just going. Too old to care, fingered out? Yeah. Me and Rumble, we got it all fingered out. Pumpkin, I can't wait to vote. It's exciting. I'm excited too. Super excited. Zupia, major shenanigans in Pennsylvania already. Closing polls early. Busting illegals to cut in line at polls. Fake election watchers. Turning away Trump supporters. Yeah, Zupia. I seen something. Let me. It might have been on Truth Social. I'll see if Trump posted it on X. But President Trump was talking about. Oh, there's Rumble Rick right there. I'm gonna share his post because he's awesome. Oh, there's Alina Haba Haba. Let's share that neck out there. See, that's why I can't go to X. I just started doing that shit. What was I even doing? I can't even remember what I was doing now. Looking for something on X. Let me look through my channel really quick because I did see something from President Trump about they sued somebody or they're suing somebody about some illegal election related stuff that was happening and they won. Let me see if I can find it really quick. We'll put it up on the screen here. I might only be on Truth that he shared it. Yeah, I'll have to look at my phone in a second, but they had caught people cheating and they're suing them now. I don't know what's going to actually happen or if those votes count or anything like that, but President Trump's team, I can't remember who it was. It's not Caroline Leavitt. Somebody else is eyeballing what's going on with the votes because they want to stop the steal before it happens, but I don't know. It's hard to be omnipresent with everything going on in all these different states, all these different styles of voting. Like they said, it's going to take more than 4 days to figure out the results from the election because of all the mail-in votes, the ballots. Well, maybe we shouldn't do that, you know? Like if you're overseas, you're in the military or something like that, then yeah. If you're disabled and you can't physically go there, then yeah. But if you're not in either category, you should go vote in person. They should make it a national holiday where your job can't force you to come into work or anything like that. That way you have no excuse but to go vote. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems really simple to me, but like I said, they like it nice and loose. That's the only way blue team can get it rolling. Lying, cheating, stealing. Hidu, pigs stop people from standing in line to vote in Pennsylvania. See, I wonder if that's what President Trump was talking about. Let me look it up really quick. So I want to say it was on Truth where I seen him talk about it, but I didn't know exactly what he was talking about. And he posts every 20 minutes, so just give me a second here. I don't know why I can't find it. 6 hours ago, we caught them cheating big in Pennsylvania. Must announce and prosecute now. This is a criminal violation of the law. Stop voter fraud. Check out Kamala's new sleazebag lawyer. We're on them all this time. Who would have ever thought that our county is so corrupt, or our country is so corrupt? See, I can't find exactly the post that I had seen earlier, but President, like I said, Team Trump, they're out there watching those snakes in the grass. Libby Racer, will the Subaru be ready for voting? No, I don't think so. Well, maybe. So I disappeared when President Trump got on stage because I did get another call from the shop, which is very frustrating because every time I call them, they're like, oh, let me call you back, and then they don't. And yesterday was really frustrating because I called them 3 or 4 times, and every time I called, they were like, oh, let me call you back, and then not call me back. And 3 hours go by, and I call them again. They're like, oh, yeah, but I'm in the middle of something. Let me call you back. Okay, but actually fucking call me back. Well, they called me back during the Trump rally, and they said that it has to do with some case. They thought that what was bad is the pinion bearing, which I don't know what that is, but the case that holds it was cracked. And so they're going to try and just replace the whole part, I believe. And it's going to be $400 for the part, and then like another, God only knows. He says it's probably going to be more than $1,000 by the time they get it all put together. And they don't even know if it's going to fix the howling, because they don't know what's causing the howling. So there's that. If I don't get the Subaru back by Monday, which is when they expect everything to be done by the end of the day, Monday, regardless of how things go, like I said, I will walk there if I have to. I will stand there all day if I have to. I am going to vote November 5th, and there is nothing that is going to stop that from happening. And that's the way it's going to go. So next, you were busy fingering Rumble. Well, you know, I had to make it work right. I had to do the thing. Thank you, Dutton.
Thanks for joining.
Oh, you got the whole video here. Well, look at you, badass. All right, since we're on the subject, we're just gonna get right into this. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm sure it'll be totally fine. It's provided by Dutton. It's titled "Non-U.S. Citizen Charged for Illegally Voting in Michigan," the officials say.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Shayna Humphreys. We begin with an incident in Washtenaw County that officials say is extremely rare. A University of Michigan student is facing felony charges after casting a ballot despite not being a U.S. citizen. Our Terrell Bailey has more on the quick response and what's next.
Officials in Washtenaw County tell me a U of M student is accused of voting in this year's election. Turns out he's not even a U.S. citizen, and there's no way to remove his vote.
In all my years of being involved with elections, I've never seen it.
Larry Kestenbaum has been the Washtenaw County clerk for over 20 years. He's shocked that a non-citizen was able to vote.
I don't think that this is any kind of organized election interference. I don't know that he was associated with anyone else.
According to Michigan's Secretary of State, a Chinese U of M student registered to vote, meaning he agreed that he's a U.S. citizen, which is illegal. After submitting his ballot, he reportedly alerted poll workers.
You know, basically signing a statement falsely claiming that you're eligible to vote is a felony.
Once ballots are submitted, experts say they're unnamed and almost impossible to find, so the vote will ultimately count.
It goes into this big box with a bunch of other ballots, and you just can't fish it out with any type of, accuracy. It's impossible because it's with 100 or 200 or whatever other ballots in there.
The county clerk says the 19-year-old does have a green card. As he faces felony charges, we're told it could tamper with his immigration status.
I think that this was an unfortunate situation of someone who made a mistake, and now he's in trouble.
City officials in Ann Arbor say the voting site was on campus. Had the student not alerted election officials, some believe this situation could have gone unnoticed.
This is a rare event, and it was caught. And my guess is that this happens, if at all, very, very rarely.
Now, according to the Washtenaw County clerk, discussions will be forthcoming on ways to prevent similar situations in the future. Terrell Bailey, CBS News, Detroit.
Well, that is interesting. I wonder if they're going to decide their punishment on who he was going to vote for. And be like, were you voting for Trump? He'd be like, yeah, I was voting for the Orange Eagle. They're like, you're doing life in prison, buddy. Fucked up. That's what they're going to do. If he says that he was voting for Hyena Harris, they're going to give him permanent citizenship. You know, that's what's going to happen. But either way, we'll see if we can keep up to date with that. I didn't even detect that. Thank you for sending me that, Dutton. Like I said, next up we got DHS employee issues chilling warning about Tim Walz' alleged ties to top U.S. adversary. We're going to read through the chat a little bit more. General chaos. It was in Pennsylvania. They got the in-person voting extended by 3 days for turning away voters early. Interesting, General chaos. Thank you for letting me know. Zupia, he sued Pennsylvania for closing the polls early and won to make sure that they stay open for proper hours. Yeah, Zupia. That's so badass. I'm so thankful for President Trump actually doing things to fix the country. Told to care voting for Harris? Yeah, he probably was. Pumpkin, just subtract 1, imbeciles. Yeah, they can't count that far. Those damn Democrats. What's your name? Jeff Reel? Well, happy freedom to you, Jeff Reel. What's up, Tom Servo? Happy freedom to you. EFO, China's Walz? Well, sorta. Sorta. A-Quest, what about the 20,000 in ballots lost? Yeah, they don't want to talk about that. That's like the ballot boxes being on fire. They're trying to, like, kind of get that swept under the rug, too. Sage Pup, I wonder if they're making a big deal about this guy because he voted for Trump. Probably. Because I keep thinking, if he was going to vote Democrat, why did he come here legally? He could have just crossed in the border. He'd have got a free iPhone, new pair of Jordans, could have stayed in a 5-star hotel, but instead he got a green card to come here and go to school? And he actually went to school? He's not like kidnapping and raping kids and stuff? Huh. Weird. Maybe he was voting for Trump. Thank you for letting me know, Salty Ginger. I'll check it out in a second. Zero, he didn't make a mistake. He did it on purpose. Could be. It could be. We are the show. Very rare they'd reach out and say, hey, I did an illegal. Well, it means two different things in America now. You like that? All right, hooligans, we're going to move on to this next one. Like I said, DHS employee issues chilling warning on Tim Walz. Alleged ties to top U.S. adversary. Oh, CCP Walz. Let's go ahead and get this rolling. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Listen to this. A Department of Homeland Security official is warning colleagues that Governor Tim Walz's vice presidential nomination feeds into China's efforts to influence Washington, D.C.
This is really concerning. Brooke Singma was the first to report on this story. She is here with the details. Brooke.
Good morning, you guys. Yeah, so House Republicans are intensifying their efforts to investigate the Democrat vice presidential nominee and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's alleged ties to China. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer releasing a portion of DHS internal communications it received from a whistleblower discussing China's alleged activities with Walz. The message was sent by a DHS employee to colleagues on Microsoft Teams saying, quote, Walz got the VP. You have no idea how this feeds into what the PRC, or the People's Republic of China, has been doing here with him and local government. It's seriously a line of the intel targets someone who is perceived they can get to D.C. Now, Comer, in a letter to DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, says, quote, the committee's releasing the above message as an example of the communications within DHS's possession in which DHS officials express concern about the CCP targeting politicians and their influence operations at the state and local levels. Comer says specifically their concerns about China's influence operations as they relate to Governor Walz. Now, last month, Comer subpoenaed Mayorkas for records relating to those alleged connections after the whistleblower notified him of those messages. Comer is now accusing the Department of Homeland Security of stonewalling the subpoena. He says, quote, DHS did not produce responsive documents before the subpoena's due date and subsequently neglected to produce a single responsive document. The House Oversight and Accountability Committee says Walz has traveled to China an estimated 30 times. And in the 1990s, Walz organized a trip to China for his high school students, a trip which was reportedly paid for by the Chinese government. Guys.
All right, Brooke Simon live for us. Brooke, thank you so much. Let's bring in former State Department spokesman.
CCP Walz. Well, we knew that guy was a little weird. We knew he was a little weird. We'll see how weird he is. I feel like that should straight disqualify you. If you're connected to the CCP, you can't run for president. Like, that's, it seems like that's just common sense, but like President Trump says, If you're voting for him, you're pretty much in the party of common sense. Everybody else acts like a dumbass, like they don't understand anything. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't gone after people about, put your left shoe on, your right shoe, which one goes first. What, you call your left your left? You don't know how your left identifies. It might say it's your right. Those people are so fucking confused and lost, which is why they're all voting for Hyena Harris. They like to be duped. They love it. They love it. Next up, we got border expert calls out copycat Kamala for switch up on illegal immigration. Apparently, Hyena Harris is making claims that she'll be doing mass deportation if you elect her president. Oh, it's hard to say that. Jesus loves us. Anyways, the positive note on this upcoming video is that they're going to be talking more about how President Trump's plan to confiscate assets of the cartel, how that would work, and how that money would be used and stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly who this guy is. He's border agent or somebody like that, but either way, he's going to explain it. Not so much Hyena Harris. We're going to hear more about Trump's plans for the border. Either way, it's coming up next, but first I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Go and read through the chat, see what your hooligans think about CCP, Walz. And then next up, we got border plans. 80% of Congress would be disqualified. They all have ties to China. Yeah. Same thing with like insider trading. I don't think they'd be so excited to be Congress and stuff if they couldn't participate in the stock market, if they couldn't get their lobbying deals and stuff like that. Like if their finances were public information or even their health, then people wouldn't be so excited to be in office for 90 years and stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be awesome, 10-man. Too old to care, Chinese hairy balls. That's too much. It's not Saturday yet. Too old to care. That's too much. Don't vote for the Chinese hairy balls. Go after the Orange Eagle. Cast your vote for him. What's up, SOS? Happy freedom. Alistair, I don't know, man. This sounds like the right's version of Russia, Russia, Russia. That could be. That could be. Now, I believe that Tim Walz probably has connections to the CCP, knowing how corrupt they all are and his love for tampons and horse is. We'll just say that. I don't know. It could be, though. It could be right-wing Russia, Russia, Russia. What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom. We are the show. Fake story. No way. Walz is straight. Yep, I agree. I agree. That's fake news. Era 16 little China girl? I don't know. He probably likes those two. What's up, Kirk Allen? Happy freedom. Ball, I don't think I can say that out loud. That is painting quite the visual. Oh my god, Astral Hammer, that's so awesome. It's already a GIF. We're going to be playing that video later on today. Alright, hooligans, we're going to get into this next video. We have a ton of news today. This next one is titled Border Expert Calls Out Copycat Kamala for Switching Up on Illegal Border Crossers. Like I said, they are going to talk about Hyena Harris, but they're also going to be talking about what it would look like when President Trump starts seizing assets of the cartel. Well, because they shouldn't be here. Shouldn't be affecting our country in any way. Either way, let's get this rolling. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
It is. Donald Trump announced a new plan to compensate victims of migrant crime. Watch this.
So today, I'm announcing that for the first time under my administration, we will be seizing the assets of the criminal gangs and drug cartels. And we will use those assets to create a compensation fund to provide restitution for the victims of migrant crime, and the government will help in the restoration. The government will help in the restitution.
Okay, Border Patrol guy Art Del Cueto joins me now. Art, I know you love this, You gotta love this. But can you nail down the cartel's money? How do you seize the assets of the cartels? Do you know?
Well, you go after them just like you do with the federal RICO statute acts. There's already statutes there. You come after them, you take their assets, because this is the only way that it's going to work. You got to hit them in their pocketbook. Look, they've been doing whatever they've wanted. They've faced minimum consequences. And under the current administration, they haven't faced any consequences. It's been a free-for-all. They've been able to do whatever they want. They've amassed billions and billions. So this is the proper way. You go after them and you hit their pocketbooks, and that's the only way you're going to be able to come after these cartels and these drug smugglers.
Kamala Harris is now talking about mass deportations. She is. Watch this.
When I was Attorney General of a border state, I saw the chaos and violence caused by transnational criminal organizations that I took on. And when I am president, we will quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully, prosecute the cartels, and give Border Patrol the support they so desperately need.
There's kind of a passing reference to deporting those who've come here illegally. Can you see Harris deporting millions of people?
No, I think it's just, just word salad. But again, you know what they say, imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery. They've tried plan A, which is creating this mess. Plan B, which is pretending it doesn't exist. Plan C, bringing up, something that doesn't work. And now Plan D is follow the leader, or I should say, follow the real leader, because they realize that the only way they're going to be able to fix it is what the last administration did. It's insane to me that she's saying this now. What's next, Varney, honestly? What's next for her? She's going to start playing YMCA at the end of her rallies and probably practice some of Donald Trump's dance moves. But I think the American public knows it's just word salad.
Nice touch. Del Cueto, thanks for joining us. I've got to get back to something. We just told you moments ago about.
Well, I don't want to see Hyena Harris out there doing President Trump's dance moves or dancing to the YMCA. All the drag queens come up on stage. Nah, good on that. Don't want to see any part of that. Next up, we got victory for Virginia. SCOTUS rules state can remove suspected non-citizen voters. This is a follow-up of a follow-up after a follow-up, where 1,600 people self-proclaimed to not be citizens while registering to vote. And so those people were removed from the voter roll. But then a liberal judge said that that was wrong and that they had to put those 1,600 illegals back on the voter roll. SCOTUS said no, and they slapped that right out of the sky. Big win for Virginia. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Hyena Harris claiming she's going to have mass deportation. She's going to start wearing a bandage on her ear to the rallies and stuff. You know that's coming up. Pumpkin, why hasn't Harris been doing this all along for the last 4 years? Exactly. Why? What has she been doing at all other than cackling? She hasn't done anything. Bobby, she's way worse than people think. Yeah, I am sure. I'm sure. Too old to care. I bet Kamala's Halloween costume is Trump. Oh, I guarantee it. Guarantee it. I bet she fantasizes about President Trump. All she does is talk about him. The whole Democrat team. They're all that way. What's up, guess who? Happy Freedom. Guess who? Nothing like the smell of MAGA on Halloween. And yes, Tim Walz will be handing out tampons to people trick-or-treating. Gosh, you're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. His wife was telling people, his sister wife, Tim Walz's sister wife, turn the page. Donald Trump, that fucking crazy person. She said that the reason they were putting tampons in all bathrooms, including men's bathrooms, was to help them learn to read. That was the reason they did it. It helps kids read. Put tampons in the bathroom so your children know how to read. I don't know. It doesn't track to me, but that's what they're trying to say. I don't think they're going to be able to get away from that tampon stuff. It's too late. It's too late. Here, Juice, you going trick-or-treating? It's badass. You got to bring me back some candy. Tim Man's fixing a storm there. We got kind of gloomy weather right now, too. I think it's supposed to rain all day. Paul, she's now emulating Trump. Yeah, she wishes. She wishes. Well, we're going to get into this follow-up story. It's titled Victory for Virginia. SCOTUS rules that the state can remove the suspected non-citizen voters. It's stupid that stuff like this even has to happen. If they're not a citizen, don't let them vote. I don't know. I'm not an election official, but common sense. Either way, let's get this rolling.
A victory for Virginia. The Supreme Court says that the state can remove hundreds of suspected non-citizens from the voting rolls. The Justice Department sued, saying that the move was illegal because it's too close to Election Day and some voters might be wrongly removed. Let's bring in Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares. General Miyares, good to have you with us. Thank you very much for joining us today. I want to just play a quick soundbite from Governor Youngkin, who was on a short time ago with his reaction to this ruling. Listen.
Speaker Johnson's advocacy for a national law to demonstrate that you are a citizen before you are allowed to vote is critical. And I do hope that America will extend our majority in the House, flip our Senate, and put Donald Trump back in the White House for lots of reasons, one of which is we need federal legislation to make it very clear on what it takes to register to vote in America.
So, General, can you explain to people who might be just learning about this story, who are these 1,600 people who are being removed from the voter rolls, and what opportunity do they have to fix it if it's a mistake?
I appreciate you having me on to explain. So these are individuals that have gone to DMV in Virginia. Our previous governor had extended driving privileges to non-citizens, and they've checked the box. They self-identified that they are not a citizen of the United States. And then when these individuals' names are submitted to the Department of Elections in Richmond, they will be looking and say, oh, my goodness, this person who is self-identified as a non-citizen is on our voting rolls. And they then communicate to them. They say, listen, we have a reason to believe that you're a non-citizen. You've self-identified. Please go to your voter registrar and correct this problem. If not, we're going to have to follow a law that, by the way, was passed in 2006 and signed by a Democratic governor, Tim Kaine, to remove non-citizens off our voter rolls. And that procedure has been in place. That was the question of these 1,500 plus names. And really the backup is you self-identify as a non-citizen, you check a box, let's say hypothetically, maybe you check the wrong box. We then notify you, the Department of Election does. And then finally in Virginia, we have same-day voter registration. So even if you inadvertently was removed, you actually have the ability of voting that day on Election Day and casting a provisional ballot. So there's multiple safeguards. This was never a purge. This was a case-by-case basis. But it really goes to show you something the governor just mentioned, referenced the SAFE Act. This was a piece of legislation Speaker Johnson advocated for, and the left and the Democrats that opposed it said we don't need this legislation because each state has their individual tools available in their respective state to ensure non-citizen voting. Now, in this case, this is a tool, again, signed by a Democratic governor, Tim Kaine, that we actually were utilizing. Previous governors has it well, and then we get sued by the Department of Justice. The same people who said we didn't need the SAFE Act, the states can handle this. Now we're basically trying to tell a state, don't follow your own law.
All right, so let's go through the scenario. First of all, the Justice Department, this is their response to today's SCOTUS ruling. The department brought this suit to ensure that every eligible American citizen can vote in our elections. We disagree with the Supreme Court's order. So let's say that I'm one of the 1,600 people that got kicked off the voter rolls, and I show up to vote in Virginia. What happens to me, and what is my recourse to prove that I'm a legitimate citizen? Or if I'm not, am I going to be able to vote?
You can register literally that day. We have same-day voting registration. You could sign an affidavit as well saying that you are indeed a U.S. citizen.
But I don't have to show any ID or prove that I'm a U.S. citizen. I just have to sign an affidavit that says that I am?
No, you could produce a identification that says who you are. Usually it's your driver's license. The same thing you would do normally when you register to vote. So we have multiple backups for these individuals that inadvertently, again, they clicked the wrong box. We understand that could happen. We've tried to communicate. And listen, the fail-safe has always been same-day voter registration. You're an individual, you click the wrong box, you decide not to open your mail from the Department of Elections, you could do same-day voting registration. Because listen, the right to vote is precious. I have distinct memories of going with my mother who'd fled Cuba. The first chance she got to vote for president, she was in her late 30s, and what pride she has. So I understand that is a precious, precious thing that so many people have fought and died for. We're going to protect that, but it should be two standards. Easy to vote, hard to cheat. That's the standard we have in Virginia. That's why this is a brilliant winning for not just upholding the rule of law, but I just say common sense. That this idea that Virginia citizens should be deciding Virginia elections really isn't controversial. I think Gallup had a poll, 83+% of Americans think only citizens should be voting on an election. That's actually the law. It is a felony if you are a non-citizen voting in a U.S. election.
Yeah. Citizens get to vote in the election, and that is what this rule says. I don't know of any countries where you can vote if you're not a citizen of the country, but I know it's true in this one. Attorney General Miyares, thank you, from Virginia. We're going to be watching Virginia very closely, about 6 points apart, so it has tightened since the last election, so we'll see what happens on election night. Sir, thank you. Great to see you.
Well, like I said, it's a victory for Virginia. They're actually going to keep those 1,600 non-citizen voters off the voter rolls, but who knows? I mean, at least they're trying. Who knows how many illegals will still go vote, but at least they got those individuals. I wonder what would happen if those people didn't self-declare as non-citizens, because that's what happened. They registered to vote, they declared that they were a non-citizen, they got pulled off the voter roll. But what if they didn't do that? What if they declared that they were citizens, like we were just talking about with the Michigan story, where he claimed that he was eligible to vote but wasn't able to? Would they have caught that in Virginia? The other thing I think is kind of weird is she says, oh, I wouldn't have to provide ID to register. And he said, well, you could. He didn't say, yes, you have to provide identification in order to register to vote. He just said, yeah, you could. Now, maybe there's a miscommunication there or something, but I would like to hear a more definite answer. Like, no, you could not register to vote unless you can provide identification. But either way, I guess wishful thinking there. Now, because we didn't do this earlier, we're going to do it right now. I want to remind you guys about these Ultra Dark MAGA Hope t-shirts. This design was created by Alistair. He is fantastic at what he does. This design comes in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, coffee mugs, stickers, dog tags, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, and we even made bumper stickers. Today I got on the spooky green hooligan badge, which you can find this in the merch store as well. It's a little late to receive it for Halloween because I can't drive it to you right now. My Subaru's in the shop. Anyways, I will post a link to the merch store in all of the chats while we're going through and talking it up about what's going on with Virginia, their win there by SCOTUS. Next up, we have CNN bans commentator from network after verbal attack on live TV. These are softies out here doing what soft people do. It's coming up next, but like I said, we're going to be dropping this merch store link, and we're going to be reading your guys' thoughts on that Virginia win. Let me get this link drop really quick, otherwise I'll get sidetracked because I have the attention span of a squirrel. Silver Wolf, you are omnipresent. Happy freedom to you. I don't know why you're on the commie platform. Let's see. Astro Hammer, if it rains Tuesday, I'll be dang happy. I put on my best trash bag to go vote. Yeah, Astro Hammer, pretty soon they're going to start turning people away for that. They're going to say, nah, you're representing Trump. You got to get out of here. You can't be doing that. Blah, blah. Cry real hard. They're going to throw their man-pons at you. Just pop it right out of their butt. Throwing grenades. No good. No good. Damn Democrats. Just saying. What's up, Mike T? Happy freedom to you. Elisa, yes, I did. I called UPS. I had to call them twice. It's a long story, but I got it all worked out, and they should be dropping the package off. It might be out at the door right now, actually. They said it'd be between 3 and 4. It's almost 5. I appreciate you, Elisa. I'll let you know as soon as I got it. Paul, a driver's license needs to be... Wait a minute. Needs to designate citizenship. It's also stupid simple. Yeah, Paul, you're right. It doesn't have to be a real complex thing. It's all this accommodation for the small percentages. You know, everyone's got to be gay because 14 people in the U.S. are gay. It's like that for everything. It's like that for everything. We always got to accommodate these what ifs. But the what ifs, we got to have what ifs, and now we're at the point where nothing makes sense. It's because they don't... I said this before. I remember like in the 90s or maybe the early 2000s when there was this big push for there is no normal. There's no normal. Everyone's unique. We need to love each other's differences. There's no normal. And now look at nothing's fucking normal. I think that was the agenda the whole time. We thought it was to love each other's differences. No, it was to exterminate normalcy, to have any kind of normal anything. Common sense isn't even normal now. You have common sense, you're a right-wing extremist. Like, okay. Era 16, where be the Klaus? He's around here somewhere. I don't know how he's going to miss the whole live. He's getting punished. He's grounded. What's up, Rich? Happy freedom. Hurley girl, happy freedom to you. We're going to have to start calling Tampon Tim Mr. Hanky, the ex-Miss Pooh. He is. He is. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom to you. Salty Ginger, they applied for a driver's license and declared non-citizen. So the DMV doesn't register them, but they are just being lazy and registering everyone. A doctor's license is not proof of a citizenship. Yeah. Oh, a driver's license. I see what this is. Not a doctor's license. A driver's license is not proof of citizenship. Well, it's all a mess. It's all a mess. Like in Illinois, they were saying that if you don't have the necessary credentials, including being illegal, then they phrase it differently, that you should still try to apply for voter registration in Illinois. Even if you don't have the right credentials. Even if you don't qualify for a driver's license, they're telling those people you should still try and register to vote. Oh, I'm doing fine, Lisa. How are you today? And happy Halloween. You Hooligans crack me up. We're going to get into this next one. This is just hilarious. This is just like a mid-time break here. It's titled CNN Bans Commentator from Network After Verbal Attack on Live TV. Now, really, I think it was funny, and they thought it was funny, which is why they cried that it was a threat against his life and all this other stupid. This is so stupid. These are softies crying and pissing all over each other. No, not San Francisco, but it is CNN. Let's get this pulled up. He's so soft. Oh, I just hate looking at his stupid face. Just so soft. Just so soft. My goodness. Let's get this rolling. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing...
You're called an anti-Semite more than anyone else at this table.
Yeah.
And people will sit there and... No, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. Okay. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying...
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that...
Did you just say I should die?
You
should not...
No.
Did you just say I should be killed?
No, I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
Hold on. Did your guest just say I should be killed on live TV?
I said I hope you're...
Guys, let me just stop.
You said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you said I'm a big supporter
of the Palestinians.
Of Hamas?
Guys, let me
stop. Palestinians.
Are you?
Am I what? No, of course I'm not.
I
apologize.
Are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against
Ryan, that's disgusting. That is completely...
No, I apologize.
Good job, CNN. Let's have first block say the Muslim guy should be blown up on TV.
Don't say then I apologize. You literally...
I thought you said Hamas.
You didn't think I said Hamas. I said I supported Palestinian rights.
Yes, I did.
Why? Because when you hear
What's funny is Rudy Giuliani said this yesterday, so you're a great guest to be here to defend Rudy Giuliani.
I wasn't going to entertain nonsense today, and so at this point,
this is what we're in now. This is America in 2024.
Here's what I will say.
Forget the racism.
That's right.
I should die.
I didn't say that. You
said, what does beeper mean? Don't give me your fake
ignorance. I did not say you should die.
Why did you say with my beeper?
What did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper? What did you mean by the beeper? No, you didn't. You said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least have the guts to support your racist comment.
Hang on.
Over there smelling like piss and shame over on CNN. Soft and stupid people. We talk about them every single day, but there you go. That's a great example right there. That was a good joke. He's like, I hope the beeper don't go off. Everybody knew what he was saying. This guy, he didn't have a comeback. He was like, oh, you want me to die? No, he said he hopes that it doesn't go off. That's the opposite of wanting you to die. You soft, stupid person? Jesus, it's illegal to be funny. Next up, we have conspiracy theories sound off after the U.S. network ABC mistakenly airs election results, claiming that Harris won Pennsylvania. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what your hooligans think about that nice little jokey joke right there. But before we do, I want to give you guys another reminder really quick. If you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live like we have coming up later. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. We're going to read through the chat really quick. We got ABC showing their cheating hand a little early. Zero had to laugh. No mask signs on gas station doors. Interesting, Zero. That's awesome, though. That's awesome that the gas station is saying, hey, you can't wear a compliance cloth in here. Love that. Snook's very soft. They were showing off their softness over there. 10-man complete chaos. Yes. Matt eating their own. That's exactly what's going on. Happy freedom to you, Matt. Russell, happy freedom to you. I love the beeper joke. Me too. I thought it was a pretty good joke. You don't expect jokes from CNN, and they finally had a good joke, and then everybody got all mad and stuff. The guy was actually wishing him well. He was wishing him well. He was like, I hope the beeper don't go off. Zero, Halloween masks. Oh, well, that's disappointing, Zero. But yeah, leave it up. Yeah, hopefully they leave the sign up. They should. It's just no Halloween masks. And every time liberals walk in, they're like, hey, start pointing at the sign. They're like, this isn't for Halloween. It isn't for shit. Take it off your face if you're coming in here. I want you bastards stealing shit. Mm-hmm. AR-16, when Trump wins, the meltdown will be epic. Yeah, I agree. They're not going to be able to handle it. They're not. Rappy, oh my goodness, a bunch of kids. That's how it is. You don't raise your kids to grow up to be socialists, and then they end up on CNN. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy freedom. Yeah, Energy Woman, it was kind of confusing in the beginning when we first started on Locals and Rumble. They need to cause a little bit better declaration of being separate, because a lot of hooligans joined Locals thinking they were joining the membership on Rumble, but it's not. They are not the same. But you are still supporting the live, so that is still a thing. And I do appreciate all of you guys that contribute and keep us running, because I couldn't do it without you guys. Paul, offended by everything, accountable for none. Absolutely. That's their call to action right there. What I hear, I don't know if the video made the schedule, but I heard, well, I screened like 60-something videos today, because I want to make sure we had lots of news. We didn't cover any news yesterday. Did the Trump rally and a bunch of other stuff that I had built up that needed to be done. But I did see a video that said if Democrats didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all. And I love that. That's just resonating with me right now. Rappy, you should wear a garbage bag when you go to vote. I hear some people are doing that. Lots of people. Well, lots of claims. I'm seeing a lot of TikTok videos, a lot of videos on X of people claiming that that's what they're doing. See, but if I gotta walk, an hour to go where I gotta go vote, I don't know if maybe at least I'll be safe from the rain. Pumpkin, calm down. Talk one at a time. No, the gang mentality doesn't work like that over there on CNN. What's up, Amarain? Happy freedom. Are these 5-year-olds racist? He was just being trolled. Yeah, they can't handle jokes. I can't believe they fired the guy over that. You're too funny to work here. That's usually why I got fired too. You're too funny to work here. I'm like, I know. Alistair, my son is sick as hell, but going to go out anyway. What a trooper. That's badass, Alistair. Raising them strong. When I was a little kid, I was sick on Halloween all the damn time, and I hated it. I was just telling somebody about this. Now I'm a grown-ass adult, and I don't even participate. When I was a kid, I felt like I got gypped. I was like, I only get sick on Halloween. Now I'm grown. I'm just like, I'm staying here. What's up, U-Town? Happy freedom to you. U-Town CNN is a joke. Well, don't say it too loud. They'll just have to cancel themselves. Maybe we should make flyers. Make t-shirts. What's up, Mushroom? Happy freedom. So you can call someone a Nazi but not terrorist? Shake my head. Yeah, Mushroom. Exactly. They can call people Nazis, call President Trump Hitler, but don't make beeper jokes, because otherwise you're a bad person. Salty Ginger, that was a hilarious joke. Yeah, he hit him with that fire. The guy was so upset he had to fire him. You're fired from the show. You're funnier than I am. What's up, Klaus Daniels? Come here. We gotta do proof of life. Come here. Stop it. He's doing inventory right now. Well, come here. They all think I had kitty tacos. Oh, look at big beefy. Oh, yes. Locked and loaded. Oh. Say hello, my big feline friend. Yes, big bear cat. You need 2 permits for one of these. The 9mm will blow a lung out of a body. All right, I'll let you go. Ugh. Interfering with his inventory he's doing right now. Checking on everything. Glad to hear it, Lisa. Appreciate you being with us. 10-man, big man Klaus. He's busy. Interfering with him working. He's like, come on, let me go. Let me go. He's like, I don't bother you when you work. You let me be. All right, Snooks. No worries. Astro Hammer, dang it, I thought the trash bag idea to the polls was my idea. Oh, I've seen quite a few. I think I just shared one on X. Somehow we keep landing over on X. I was thinking about making this the funny video of the day. But now it's just one of the videos on the schedule. Just another brick in the wall. We're going to show Astral Hammer's original idea really quick, just for funsies. Yep, gotta make sure you get your trash ass out there and vote. Let them know. Show up in those big garbage numbers. They ain't never seen anything like that. I wonder how many people actually went to the polls like that. I hope liberals cry themselves to sleep tonight. Just tonight, starting now from here on out. Just go ahead and cry your little selves to sleep. Just saying. Bobby, it's not a real Klaus, it's a clone. There's no clones of Klaus. He's one of a kind. Rip Curl, is Trump going live tonight? Yes, he has a rally coming up in about an hour and a half. We are not going to be covering it because we started off with the rally, his first rally of the day. And then later tonight, we will be covering him live on Tucker Carlson's tour that he has going on. The tour itself is supposed to start at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight, but I'm not sure when President Trump is expected on stage. I assume once that whole program kicks off, they'll have some sort of schedule for when President Trump is expected on stage. As soon as I know, I will let all of you guys know, because we are going to be covering it. I don't think we're going to be covering the whole Tucker Carlson event, although it probably is going to be super entertaining. But we definitely will be covering President Trump while he's live on stage. What's up, Beck? Happy freedom. Klaus Daniels, you watch your mouth. Okay, we're live. YouTube's watching. They don't like words like that. Well, next up, let me get this figured out here. Oh yes, now I remember. Conspiracy theories sound off as U.S. network ABC mistakenly airs election results. Now, like I said, they're going to talk about this, but when they go to show it, you can't see it. They cover it up with all their crap on the screen. So I went and got the picture, and when necessary, I will throw it on the screen so you guys can see what it is that they're talking about, because you can't clearly see it in the video. So once again, this is Conspiracy Theories Sound Off after U.S. network ABC mistakenly airs election results.
Get this, an ABC American station had a little grab during their coverage of the Grand Prix on Sunday. Sorry, the Mexican Grand Prix. Nobody freak out, you haven't missed out. Saying that Kamala had won Pennsylvania just magically, somehow, 10 days in advance. 52% of the votes, apparently, she got, compared to 47% for Republican challenger Donald Trump. There you can see it down the bottom of your screen. Is this a prediction? Is the world but a stage? What is going on here? Of course, the conspiracy theorists are now sounding off.
We can cancel the election now. It's fine. But if you think that stuff up is embarrassing,
all right. So like I said, they kind of screwed up when they put it on the screen. I don't know what they were doing. So I went and grabbed the picture, threw it up there while she was talking and whatnot. You could see at the bottom of the screen they were showing election results for Pennsylvania, claiming that Harris won. The election hasn't even happened yet. Now, ABC says it was a mistake. There's a couple excuses floating around. I don't know what the official statement is, but what it sounds like is they're claiming that those numbers or whatever have to do with the Trump-Biden election, and that they were putting things in place to get ready for the upcoming election results, and those numbers accidentally popped up on the screen. Now, none of that makes any kind of sense to me, right? Everything you see on the screen, I had to put it there. I had to put the shit there. So it doesn't make any sense to me to have election results for an election that hasn't happened yet on the screen accidentally. Now, I understand showing it accidentally, but how did the information get there accidentally? That doesn't make any sense to me. And so, lying, cheating, stealing like the Democrats do, I don't know what else to say about it. Like I said, they say it's a mistake. Next up, we have old man Walter putting baby's foot in his mouth at the White House Halloween event. That scary imagery is coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what your hooligans think about ABC putting up fake election results. Matt, just like they did with Building 7. I can't remember what that is. I wouldn't be surprised, though. Well, it kind of reminds me of like Project, what was it, 201 or whatever that came out before the plague happened. They always give us little hints here and there. Russell, I like my women a little on the trashy side. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that, Russell. As long as they don't hit you, you know, that's where you got to draw the line. Don't let them hit you. But if they want to holler at the moon, you go ahead and let them. Let's see. Zero. I made an alien Halloween costume out of garbage bags. Hold up. The chat just moved. 1 year. It was awesome. I've never made a Halloween costume out of trash bags, but you guys are talking me into it. Thank you so much, Energy Woman, for the $25 donation over on Rumble. You're awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Let's see. Ranting for Peace Peeps. God bless. Well, God bless you, Energy Woman. Thank you. You hooligans are the best. We are the show trying to demoralize us. Yeah. Alistair Psyop. Definitely could be. Tool to carry their lion like a rug. That's how they get down. We Are the Show. Getting caught was the mistake. It's true. It's true. They're never sorry until they get caught, and then all of a sudden it was a big old oopsie daisy. Matthew practice run apparently for the machines. That's what a lot of people are thinking. They're like, wait till we see those numbers again in a week or two. Ghostly, that's why I left PA. It seems like things are kind of corrupt over there. I feel the same way about here in Michigan. Our elected officials are corrupt. Alistair, they could clone a human, but they could never clone a Klaus. No, he's one of a kind. He is one of a kind. I wish that he wasn't fixed. A part of me feels that way. I mean, when he was young, I was thankful that he got fixed because he was a tornado in the house. He was a whole riot by himself. And getting him fixed definitely made him chill out. But I wish that we could have more Klaus in the future. I wish he could just live forever. He's the very best cat I've ever had. I've had a ton of cats in my life, but he is the very best. Normal times, welcome to Venezuela. Yep, that's how we got TDA. Dutton heading into town and take the kids trick-or-treating. That's awesome, Dutton. Be safe out there. I hope you guys have a fantastic time. Oh, I see what you're saying, Matt. They broadcasted the Building 7 fell on 911 before it actually did. Yeah, Matt. Now I remember what you're saying. Pumpkin, put on a black trash bag and say I'm a raisin. People are going to call me a racist. That's what they're going to do if I walk around doing that. Thank you so much, Southern Eagleman, for the bits over on Twitch. I appreciate the support. Thank you. You're awesome. Reading through here a little bit more. We'll get on to this next one. Like I said, we got a ton of news, so trying to dance through this a little bit. Backyard Renegade, does anybody else remember them doing this in 2020, 3 days before the election, and the numbers were correct? Interesting, Backyard Renegade. We covered so much cheating and stuff going on. I don't necessarily remember that specifically, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. We covered so much corruption, cheating, irregularities, whatever you want to call it, back in 2020 and even in 2022 during the midterm elections and stuff. Same thing. Machines were screwing up. Kerry Lake took them to court, and even in the courtroom they said, yeah, the tabulation machines were not reading the ballots correctly because they were not printed in the right format. So they had ballots that were printed correctly and they had ballots that were not printed correctly, and based on which one you received and filled out, debated on whether or not your vote mattered, whether or not it counted. And they said that in court, and then they went, oh well, and let the other person just take the gold. Like, just take the win there. It's corruption. That's what it is. It's corruption. Silver Wolf, witches of the East Wick in Michigan. Yeah, they are witches. Beck Whitmer's the Michigan top POS. Yeah, she is. She's the king of the turds. Scott, they have it all ready to cheat. Yep. Yeah, I know, Klaus Danny. We're going to have to do something about it. Love Teen, I knew they would be cheating. Well, we have to November 5th. Surprise when you hear everyone saying Trump. Yep, we got to swamp them. Got to swamp them on the 5th. What's up, Jay Spray? Happy freedom. All right, hooligans. Get into this next video here. This is old man Walter being extra scary. It's titled, Biden puts baby's foot in his mouth at the White House Halloween event. Ugh. I blame both people involved. That woman should have never brought her child up there as a sacrifice to old man Walter. Either way, let's get this rolling. Baby's trying to escape. Baby knows what's going to happen. That's enough, old man Walter. We're just going to cut it right there. It's scary enough. I know it's Halloween. I should have put a disclaimer up there or something. Old man Walter chewing on baby feet in front of everybody. Can you imagine if President Trump did that? They would say that he was assaulting the baby. That's what they would say. He'd be indicted 5 minutes before it happened. And they would say that he was assaulting the baby and some other trashy stuff that they would come up with. They'd be like, Hitler, da-da-da-da-da. Old man Walter's over there chewing on baby toes. Everyone's like, oh, that's great. No, it's not. No, it's not. It scares the shit out of me. Me and him almost shit our pants at the same time watching that. It was something else. Next up, old man Walter refers to millions of President Trump's supporters as garbage. We're going to just hop right into this. Like I said, we got a ton of videos here. I'm sure you guys have plenty to say about old man Walter chewing on baby toes, and we'll read it here in a second, but we're going to get right into this. I want you guys to listen closely to what he says, because the next 4 videos are Democrats claiming that his words are being taken out of context. So we're going to hear him actually say what he said, and then we're going to hear all of Blue Team defend him. Okay, so old man Walter, remember, these are claims that everything's being taken out of context. So we're going to hear the whole thing in context and make decisions for ourselves here. And old man Walter actually looks scarier in this than he did chewing on the baby toes. But either way, let's get into this.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. Or Puerto Rico.
So the only garbage he sees out there is his supporters. MAGA. That's what he's saying. I mean, I can only assume, right? I can only assume. We just heard it in context. It wasn't cut up. He said it. He said the thing. Okay, we got that far. Next up, we're going to show his tweet from Twitter. This is a little rebuttal he's got here, and we're going to hop in the chat before we get into Team Democrat defending him, saying it was out of context. So here's his X post here. It says, earlier today, I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and that's all I meant to say. The comments at that rally don't reflect who we are as a nation. Now, he felt the need to put that statement out, that little follow-up statement there, because he claims that his words are being taken out of context. And he said the only garbage he sees are Trump's supporters. His supporters, reference to Trump. So let's read through the chat really quick, see what you hooligans think about from eating baby toes to a double statement of President Trump's supporters are garbage. And then after reading through the chat, we're going to hear damn near everybody in the Democrat team try to defend old man Walter. Russell, I agree. I agree. Zero, that looks like AI Joe. The flag was in front of his right shoulder. Interesting, Zero. I'll have to go back and watch it. Breeze by you. You're trying to give me nightmares? I know. He's chewing on those baby toes. It freaked me out. Matt, the baby was dressed like a turkey, and all Joey saw was dinner. Oh my God. Is that what it was? He grabbed a leg really quick. He thought it was time. Breeze by you. He was chewing on the baby's toes. Ew. Fuck you, Biden. Mm-hmm. 10 man, you don't do shit like that. I know. Like, who does that? But again, I blame the woman too. What are you doing? You bring the baby to the monster the baby eater? Like, no. That guy's a monster on stage. I don't know how they could have years and years of clips of Biden sniffing kids and making them feel uncomfortable and grabbing on them and putting his hands on them and all kinds of stuff. You're just seeing terrified children in every one of these clips. And you're like, oh yeah, we're going to an old man Walter event, which is your first mistake. And then you're like, let's bring the baby to the monster. No, what? The fuck is wrong with you? These are the same people that are mutilating their children and shit. We got to vote President Trump in like now. We're going to do that right now. Matt still can't believe people let him near children. I'm saying, I don't know what is wrong with people. They figure it's probably cheaper to hand the baby over to Biden than to take it to have some gender reassignment surgery at the local clinic. Russell, baby, the other white meat. That's what old man Walter said. Mm-hmm. Breeze Value, smelling the kid's feet is nasty. I don't think, no, he put it in his mouth. It's all bad. It's all bad. Things are going off the rails here. Yeah, Matt, a lot of people have been bringing up the issues with Puerto Rico and stuff, and the fact is that Democrats can't take a joke. They're just used to taking dick. That's the problem. You know, that's... It's not Saturday. It's starting to feel like it, though. Alistair, come on, man. Give him some credit. He has dementia, and you can't understand what he's saying most of the time. I feel bad for him more than anything. I don't know, Alistair. He's got so many people around him that they could have been like, don't put the baby in your mouth. Don't put the baby in your mouth. Somebody could slap the baby out of his mouth. Oh, man, Walter, get that out of your mouth, damn it. You know, like one of the dogs or something. I don't know. It's a mess over there at the White House. AR-16, sniffing hair and eating feet since 1982. Since 1762. Yeah, old man Walter. Just disgusting. Mike T, Baal worship on Halloween. Yeah. I'm sure they're doing all of that. Stoner, if putting feet in your mouth is gross, well, it's situational, Stoner. We didn't say the act itself was gross. It was just when you're doing it to babies, that's wrong. Amarain, they think that we're really stupid. Either they think that we're really stupid or they just treat us like we're really stupid and half of us comply with the bullshit. Pumpkin, old man Walter meant what he said and he said what he meant. Yeah, but I don't know. It sounds like cursive to me every time he opens his face. Pumpkin, Walter looks awful. He does. He does. He looks like walking death. What's up, Grinch? Happy freedom. Energy Woman, wow, look at those black eyes. Yeah, they had him all juiced up to do that little interview thing there he was doing. Elisa, mom was dressed up like a diner waitress. Kid had brown pants, white shirt, and a red hair bow. Ice cream baby? It could be. Somebody said turkey, but I'm going to have to go back and watch the clip again. Pumpkin, the baby is too little to eat candy. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was some perverted thing they were doing. Because, like I said, why would you even bring a baby up there to do that? Where was the dad? Like, where was the dad to be like, no, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. He's probably paying child support somewhere. Courtly, they're all face-eating demons. Yep. You're right. I can't remember what that preacher called him. I can't remember what he called him now. Talk about Harris supporters. He's like, you can't claim to be a Christian and vote for Harris at the same time. U-Town, hide the baby oils. Pretty soon they're going to require ID in order to buy baby oil. They'll be like, you don't look old enough. I'm going to need to see some ID. Hurley girl, baby, the other white meat. You hooligans crack me up. Sage Pup, I bet the poor baby will be telling this to a shrink one day. Probably. He's going to have some weird fetish or something. They're going to get him counseling instead of jail time. He's like, well, I remember back in the day this old corpse chewing on my toes. Mom said he was president at the time, but never got to hold an actual audit. Just saying. Next up, we got the whole Democrat team defending old man Walter's words. This next one is KJP telling stories and making excuses for old man Walter. It's titled, Karine Jean-Pierre suggests Biden's garbage comment was taken out of context. And even the press pool's not believing the bullshit. I know. This is going to be unbelievable. So I don't know why she showed up looking like the Hulk's testicles, but here we are. Like I said, this video and the next two, no, this one and the next one is them defending what he said, right? Trump's supporters are the only garbage I see. At least that's what it sounded like to me. I'm not going to tell you guys what he said. You heard it. Okay, you heard it for yourself. This video and the next one, they're defending what he said, saying it's taken out of context. Let's get this rolling. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
So he was regarding to the comedian, and I quote, "I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say. The comments at the rally don't reflect who we are as a nation." And to your question, your other question that you asked, no, he does not view Trump supporters or anybody who supports Trump as garbage. That is not what he views. If the president has said this for more than 3 years now, he has said multiple times that he is a president for all. It doesn't matter if you live in a red state. It doesn't matter if you live in a blue state. He has said this himself. I have said it on his behalf. He believes that he's a president for all. And it doesn't matter who you voted for. It doesn't matter if you voted for him or not. He's a president for all. But hateful rhetoric that he hears, and this is something that we've done many times from here, we will call that out. We will call that out, and that's what the president said.
Does he have any regret for not being more? His language was not specific. It came out if you were listening to that video.
I was in the room, Amr. I was in the room.
I'm sorry, but if you were listening, but if you were any sort of normal person listening to that video or looking at the clips online, you could come to the conclusion that he was calling, at minimum, this one man garbage. Or not, if not all Trump supporters garbage. Should he be more? Does he regret not being more precise with his language? And does he also?
I'm waiting for the question to end, but keep going.
And I apologize.
Yeah,
the second part of that is, does he have any regret for how this has shadowed Vice President Harris's campaign?
So a couple of things there, because there's a lot that you laid out. Look, the president wanted to clarify because he understood that what he may have said he understood that what he was saying was being taken out of context. So he wanted to be very, very clear about what he was trying to say. And I just read that out once over. You all have the tweet or the statement that's on X. If you want to read it right now, feel free to do so.
We already did.
He was talking about hateful rhetoric, and we've called out hateful rhetoric from here. We have. Obviously, this hateful rhetoric was about a particular community, a community.
The person coughing in the background.
Community. There are Americans. This is a community that he respects, and he wanted to make sure he called that out. And hateful rhetoric should be called out. It should be. But at the same time, the president is a president for all. He will continue to do so. He will continue to serve for everyone. I want to step back for a second because I think this is really important. Yesterday, we went to Baltimore, Maryland. He announced a $3 billion project in Baltimore. That $3 billion project is going to help 27 states. 11 of those states have Republican governors. This is what this president cares about. Making sure that people who are in need get the assistance that they need. Right? He talked about port infrastructure, and we went to Baltimore. Obviously, we know what happened a couple of months ago with one of the bridges there. $147 million for Maryland in particular. But just think about it: 27 states, 11 states are Republican governors. And we're talking about the Inflation Reduction Act, which only Democrats voted for. Republicans didn't vote for that. Republicans tried to repeal that. Let's not forget what the speaker said yesterday about ACA, wanted to repeal ACA, which would hurt millions of Americans. And so that's what the president wants to focus on, which is why he wanted to make sure he clarified what he said.
Who told her that purple lipstick was going to work out with that outfit?
About communities, Americans, communities across this country, he's going to speak out about it. And it's not the first time that he's done so.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno.
Well, like I said, it's KJP defending old man Walter, making claims that his words are being taken out of context, and you're a radical if you think otherwise. Even the soft-ass media there was like, well, you know, you could either think that he was talking about Kill Tony, but it kind of sounded like he was just talking about all of his supporters. And KJP just, you know, had a little stroke right there on stage. We're just going to hop right into this next one. This is Harris responds to Biden's garbage comment. And then after this, we will be reading through the chat. I know you guys are like, wait a minute, we got to go from KJP to this lying bitch. I know, it's the news. I had to listen to it. You got to listen to it. You know how it goes. Let's do the thing.
The American people have a real choice and a very important decision to make in 6 days. And it is about who will not only lead the country, but occupy the White House, where critical decisions are made that include how we think about who we are as a nation and whether we are going to be a nation of people who attempt to unify and break through this era of divisiveness. Or are we going to be a nation of people who has a president stewing in the Oval Office over his enemies list? And I think that the turnout last night and the kind of feedback that we are receiving is a strong indication that the American people actually want a leader who is going to bring us together. And that's the type of leader I intend to be.
Have you spoken to President Biden since his comment last night about garbage?
Listen, I think that, first of all, he clarified his comments, but let me be clear, I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. You heard my speech last night and continuously throughout my career. I believe that the work that I do is about representing all the people, whether they support me or not. And as President of the United States, I will be a president for all Americans, whether you vote for me or not. That is my responsibility, and that's the kind of work that I've done my entire career, and I take it very seriously.
Have you spoken to him about his comments and his intentions?
He did call me last night, but this didn't come up.
Are you concerned about what impact this may have on voters, on the divisiveness of the election, and whether or not it's going to dissuade some people from supporting you because of your affiliation with the president and this administration?
I've been very clear with the American public. I respect the challenges that people face. I respect the fact that we all have so much more in common than what separates us, and that most people want a president that understands that gets that, and approaches their role of leadership that way. I've been very clear from my earliest years as a prosecutor. I never asked anyone, are they a Democrat or Republican? The only thing I ask folks is, are you okay? And that's the kind of president I will be.
She's the kind of president to ask if the American people are okay. What do you mean? If they weren't, it'd be your fault, because you've been here for the last 4 years. What are you even saying? She's so stupid. She is so stupid. She's the only person on Capitol Hill where she talks like we're stupid, and I firmly believe she does that because she's actually that stupid. Everybody else on Capitol Hill that talks to us like we're dumb, I feel like it's just manipulation. They're talking to us with kid gloves like we don't understand big words and shit, and they do that intentionally. They're not idiots. When they do things that doesn't make sense, like what's a woman, it's not that they're really that stupid. They're rolling out an agenda on us, and they're trying to see how many of us will go along with it if you're dumb enough to believe what they're laying down. Of course, if you don't believe it, like us, well, now you're garbage. That's how it goes. That's why everybody's voting for President Trump, because either you believe the agenda or you're a white supreme pizza. You're a bigot. You're a racist. You're a deplorable. You're garbage. If you think for yourself you're garbage, well, they've kind of painted themselves into a corner now. That's why they say if you're voting for President Trump, it's not about being a Democrat or Republican. It's not really about being a conservative or a liberal. It's about common sense. Would you like to survive the next 4 years without struggling, without contemplating deleting yourself, without deciding should you pay rent or buy groceries? Well, if you're tired of that, then you got to vote for President Trump, because that's the only way out of the hole. And everybody's figured that out now. And they continue to call names. They just called us garbage. They've been calling President Trump Hitler for forever, but it's been consistent for the last 2 weeks. These people are trash. With that being said, next up, we are going to make up for all this nastiness we were just pooling ourselves in. This next video is titled Trump Behind the Scenes, a clip from The Art of the Surge. The Art of the Surge is a documentary on behind the scenes of what it looks like to run for president as Donald Trump. Now, President Trump, he's a badass. I don't think we'll ever see a president that works as hard as he does again in our lifetime. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong because, we only got President Trump for 4 years. It would be nice to have some hope beyond then. But President Trump, he kicks ass at what he does. So this little clip we're going to cover in a little bit here, it's 2 minutes long, but it's awesome to see behind the scenes, to see President Trump working. We see him all the time on stage speaking, but to see him working behind the scenes, developing how he's going to talk to us through social media, preparing his speeches, things like that. It's really awesome to see. And then after that, we got a bunch of fun stuff. We have President Trump dressed up as a trash man from yesterday. And like I said, a bunch of fun stuff coming up. But first, we're going to read through the chat. See what you hooligans think about Old Man Walter, that shit he was talking. KJP defending him. Harris trying to pretend like she's going to be a president one day. We're going to read about all that first. Zero, man, we just had an R block, is that a Republican block extended going through in Indiana? What a dumb move. Yep. Russell, she's low IQ. I think so. She's the only person in DC that talks where I firmly believe she's not talking to us like we're dumb as an intentional manipulation. I think she's just really that stupid. And she just talks to us and is like, oh, you're not manipulating us. You really believe the dumb things that you're saying. Okay, well, fuck. Yep. Matt, imagine the nightmare of that voice for 4 more years. No, we ain't covering her. I don't care. I'm not covering that bullshit. There's no way. We're going to be like, Harris spoke today. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, that's nice. I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed when we don't cover it. 10-man bitch is acting like she's president. She is ridiculous. The things she says and the things that she's telling people. Pumpkin, he was calling us garbage to make us feel good. Well, the thing is I'm glad it happened because I feel like people were getting too complacent. They were like, oh, we're going to win. We're going to win. I don't need to go vote. We're going to win. Look at everybody voting for Trump. We're going to win. And Old Man Walter came out and he's like, hey, you guys are garbage. And people are like, hold up. I wasn't going to vote because President Trump's going to win, but now I'm going to vote because you think I'm garbage. And boom, that fire set again. Awesome. I'm telling you, Old Man Walter has his moments. He's a total piece of shit. But when he came out with the MAGA King, that was one of the greatest things he ever did. Right? Then he came out with MAGAnomics. Even better. Then he fell off his fucking bike. And that was after 3-4 years of falling up and down the stairs. So these, some of the great things he did. But then he showed up last minute when we needed a little bit more fuel for that election fire. And he wanted to call all of MAGA trash. Call them garbage. Thanks, Old Man Walter. The contributions, they are far and few, but man, are they great. They're great. Courtly, do you mean the art of the troll? No. I don't know what that is. It sounds entertaining, though. Era 16, deplorable Nazi garbage. Yeah, they love their labels over on the left. Alistair, are you okay? No. Well, I gave all your money away, so good luck. Yeah, Alistair, pretty much. Basically, that's what Hyena Harris is selling right there. Bobby, I don't think I can read that out loud, but that is something. I don't know if that's is it environmental if you're doing that? I guess. You're going to have the cat ladies chasing you. I know that. Pumpkin, no, we don't want you. We want Trump. That's right. That's right. You tell her right to her face. Matthew, turkey neck. I know. Her neck looks like it hurts. She talks and the wrinkles get strong. And it's just, I've never seen anything like it. It freaks me out. With a ball sack full of wrinkles like this, you would think, you know, I've seen stuff like that before. No. I don't know what's wrong with her neck. It's not a mask. I wish it was, though. It's just, I don't know, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. You do. This bitch cannot get off my screen soon enough. I know. I had to watch that twice to understand what she was saying because I couldn't figure it out. I get sidetracked. She starts talking and I'm like, squirrel. And that's how I had to watch it twice. And then I had to watch it again with all of you hooligans. Okay, I've had my fill of Hyena Harris. Just saying. Matthew gobbled a lot. Yeah, she had her throat blown out and you could see the war wounds from it. It's just not good. It's not good. U-Town, she is the worst they-them joke. I'm just saying. Hurley girl bobbing for apples all her life will do that to your neck. Lot lizard. Yeah, Hurley girl. You can see the promotions. That's how you count the wrinkles, and that's how you get. What level are you? That's how it is. Mm-hmm. Thank God she didn't join the military. You know, she'd have pins and count the rings. It's almost like a tree trunk, right? You count the rings. You can see how old it is. That's how you check the mileage. That's what it is. It's like the speedometer. Every line is about 10 miles road on that throat right there. That's not good. It's not good. What's up, Ting Ting? Happy freedom to you. Kamala reminds me of the 198 year. Wait a minute, what? Of the 198 year younger Nancy Pelosi just starting to try vodka. Yeah, Ting Ting, I think you're right. That's what it is. Hyena Harris is going to evolve into Nancy Pelosi. Balls contract so hard off thinking that. Just like, oh, God. My body's bracing, pulling all the blood to the torso and stuff just to stay alive off thinking that. What's up, Tim? Happy freedom. Thank you for joining us. Feds in the chat. It's becoming more common. You see these feds in the chat telling people that like not to go vote and whatnot. What's really funny is other people catching on to that. Seeing memes where people are like, yeah, you see people telling you not to vote? Do they got brown khakis and a navy blue shirt on? They wearing sunglasses with an earpiece? They might be a Fed boy. I'm like, yo, I've been saying that for years. People are catching on. Alistair, the neck's gotten worse in the past few months. God forbid she gets in. She's going to stroke out before her term is up. She's going to be talking. Her throat's going to be moving like a bullfrog and stuff. She's like, sorry, we had a party last night. We're like, holy. All right, hooligans, we're going to get into this Trump clip here. It's a really good one. And I think this is going to be a good way to shift over to our funny stuff. Well, it's kind of like feel good. It's just awesome stuff. We'll just say that's awesome stuff. We're going to be starting off with this video here, Trump Behind the Scenes, a clip from The Art of the Surge, which apparently is a documentary. I don't think the documentary is out yet, but I'm pretty sure it's being recorded by like the same people that work with Tucker Carlson. So either way, this is President Trump behind the scenes. You're going to see him figuring out social media posts. You're going to see the whole team there. Tulsi Gabbard's there. Fucking, what is his name? Matt Gaetz is there. Just, this is what it's like behind the scenes being President Trump.
Thank you. 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 Thank you.
Oh my God. Is she crazy?
Thank you. Thank you
Wow.
all. Thank you so very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, too many. Thank you. It's about 20. There must be 35.
Traveling from India
Thank
to
you.
California with an unshakable dream to be the scientist.
How many people are watching?
Can we tell how many, Dan? How many people are watching?
She's talking about how great San Francisco was before she destroyed it. A lot of talk about childhood. We've got to get to the border, inflation, and crime. Said these out. The things of which she complains. The things of which she complains.
In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man.
Oh. You hear that, Phil? It's great, right? Ready? These prosecutions were all started by her and Biden against their political opponents. Me. Get that out right away. She paid and raised bail. She paid bail to get the violent rioters in Minnesota out of jail.
Tim Walz let Minnesota burn. Kamala Harris bailed out the ones who lit the matches.
Put it in there. Put it right in with the stuff, right?
With that post, yeah.
Yeah. Good. You could do it either that or separate.
Say more lies, lying about the Project 2025.
Oh, lying against Project 25, which she knows, and so do all Democrats, that I have absolutely nothing to do with.
She says we all know that Trump terminals.
Well, like I said, that's President Trump behind the scenes there, getting down, sitting there with the whole team, deciphering her word salad speeches and whatnot. You think you guys got it bad having to watch these little clips of Hyena Harris? Could you imagine having to watch the whole speech? Every time she goes live, you got to sit there and study it and think of rebuttals and what you're going to say back. Holy crap. President Trump works harder than anybody I know. By far. By far. Next up, we got 3 clips of President Trump dressed up as a garbage man, just throwing it right in old man Walter's face. Like I said, we got 3 separate clips here. Some of them were funny. Some are just something to observe. And then we will be wrapping things up with President Trump and Melania handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. Now, I believe this is from back when he was still in the White House. But either way, we got good stuff coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about President Trump behind the scenes. Russell, he has to untoss the salad. Holy. Oh, man. God, that's a rough job, you know, I'm just saying. Matt, Lara must go through a lot of those keyboards? Probably. Russell, yeah, Trump is definitely hands-on. It's awesome. It's awesome to see, like, behind the scenes and all of that. Happy Freedom Trigger Crazy. Appreciate you joining us. Be safe out there, Zero. Thank you for hanging out with us. And have a happy Halloween. Alistair, I honestly didn't think he was genuinely sending the messages out. Yeah, Alistair, I wasn't really sure how much of that was being done. You know, who writes the speeches, who writes the social media posts and stuff like that. But he's got the whole team with him, and they're getting things done. I love it. Like I said, it reminds me of like how we all operate and stuff behind the scenes. Me and all the volunteer hooligans and whatnot between Discord and the website. We all get together behind the scenes, make decisions, plan things for the future and stuff like that. And it's just it's awesome to see like a team functioning well the way it should be, you know. We don't see that from other people. All these other politicians, they're all just lying, cheating, stealing, deceiving the American people. You look at President Trump behind the scenes, he's working his ass off. That's what he's doing. He could be chilling. I would hate wearing a suit all the damn time. I do not like being uncomfortable. He's over here drinking a Coca-Cola trying to figure out, you know, his next speech and watching the downfall of Hyena Harris. I mean, very hands-on. Tool to carry Harris makes me toss my lunch. Yeah, for real. Hidu, who's the guy with the screwed up hair? I don't know who you were talking about. I'm trying to think. I'll have to watch it again. Matthew, the speech she's typing, that's earning money. Yep. She's getting those posts wrote out. Alistair, I can't read that one out loud, but yeah, I'm sure she stores all kinds of things in that neck of hers. Hurley Girl Kakala has a team as well. They just serve milk and cookies for nap time. Yeah, Hurley Girl, for real. Sage Pup, hasn't most of Camel Toe's staff quit, saying she's impossible to work with? I don't know. It's hard for me to tell if any of that stuff is true or not. I always see people saying that, but it's like seeing people who are like, oh, well, if Trump becomes president, I'm moving out of the country. And then what happens? Nothing. They don't do anything. So I have a hard time knowing if their staff is actually quitting or not. It seems like you wouldn't be able to. You know, you join the Biden administration, the only way out is death, like a gang. That's what it seems like. I can't imagine they have people just walk away and that's the end of it. Let's talk about the party of revenge and corruption and stuff like that. Cosmic Squirrel, this stunt made my day. Yeah, this stuff that we're going to cover is so awesome. President Trump, he's the best. Yeah, Bobby, I was kind of surprised to see Tulsi Gabbard sitting there. He's got the whole team in on it. Sure crazy. Coke and Big Macs keeps Trump strong. If Trump becomes president, I'm moving into the country. Hell yeah, Sure crazy will come pick you up. All right, hooligans, we're going to move into these upcoming videos here. These next three we're going to play back to back. The first one is, he called us garbage, but really we're here to take out the trash. And then the video after that is Trump walks onto stage with his garbage man uniform. And then our third video is how Trump was convinced to wear the vest, and that's a funny video. We're going to play those three, and then we have our official feel-good video of the day afterwards. It is titled President Trump and Melania handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you guys this last reminder of the day. If you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use that Linktree link in the description in order to make donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Let me get these Trump videos pulled up. This is from the rally yesterday that we did not cover, which I wish we did, but I was super busy, unfortunately. But either way, let's get this rolling.
Hello, everybody. This is Donald Trump, and 250 million people are not garbage.
Yes, President Trump pulling up to the rally in a garbage truck. Let him know, well, if we're garbage, let's act like it. So we're going to pull up this next video here. This is President Trump walking onto stage wearing his garbage man uniform. Let me get this figured out here because we're not going to watch the whole rally. We're just going to watch the first little bit here. Come on, come on. There we go. All right, let's get this rolling. Hold on, now it's gonna buffer because it's like a 3-hour video. Come on, you stupid thing. Just a moment, let's refresh the page. Trump's just too much. He's just too much. Right here, come on, boom. Apparently Twitter is gonna be a piece of shit about this. Come on, man. Do the thing. There we go. Let me see. Why is Twitter gotta be gay? Can be all gay like this. It's because it's a 2-hour live. It's 1 hour and 23 minutes. And I want to skip ahead 2 minutes. And they're gonna cry about it. There we go. All right, Jesus loves us. It's never been that bad.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. And I have to begin by saying 250 million Americans are not garbage. This week, Kamala has been comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. And now, speaking on a call for her campaign last night, crooked Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage. No way. No way. And they actually mean it, even though, without question, my supporters are far higher quality than Crooked Joe or Lion Kamala. Higher quality. Higher quality. My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. That's true. You can't be president if you hate the American people, which I believe they do. And Kamala Harris is not fit to be president of the United States. In no way is she fit. She doesn't have the intellect, the stamina, or that special quality that real leaders, people like Brett Favre, have. They don't have it. They don't have it.
So like I said, that's from yesterday's rally there. And we got this video. This will be the last one of President Trump dressed up as a garbage man. And then we got our official feel-good video of the day coming up next.
They got all these people here. There's no way I'm wearing it on stage. They said, oh, okay, sir. I said, get me my jacket. But if you did, you know, it actually makes you look thinner. I said, oh. And they got me. I said, I want to wear it on stage. When they said I look thinner, I said, in that case, I'll wear it on stage.
That's how they convinced President Trump to wear it on stage. He's doing himself a little stunt there, trolling the Biden administration for calling all of us garbage. But then they were like, you know, Mr. President, you look a little slimmer wearing the uniform. He was like, well, sold. Sold. Let it be. Love that. We're going to get on to our official feel-good video of the day. This is titled President Trump and Melania handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. Like I said, I assume this is back when President Trump was still in the White House. This is a much better scene than Old Man Walter chewing on baby toes. Love that. President Trump and Melania handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. No baby toes were being chewed on. There was no screaming, crying children. All happy to see the orange eagle. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. We do have President Trump coming up later today. Like I said, he does have a rally in Henderson, Nevada in about 30 minutes, but we are not going to be covering that rally. We covered his first rally of the day, so I assume it's going to be much of the same stuff we've already heard. But later on today, he will be headlining Tucker Carlson's live tour. It's supposed to begin at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight, but I'm not sure when President Trump is expected on stage. I don't think he's going to be on stage at 8 p.m. I think I saw Snooks say that it might be around 10 p.m. But either way, as soon as I know when he is expected on stage, I will let you guys know, and we are going to be covering it. With that being said, we're going to read through the chat really quick, see what you hooligans thought about today's coffee. And then we will be doing the Pledge of Allegiance and wrapping things up. But like I said, I will see you hooligans later. Here's that Linktree link that I'm putting in all of the chats where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely could join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have a news board we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience a live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there in the chat while watching the live. You'll have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to our forums, which is to encourage open discussion. Then you will have access to the arcade, which is full of games that adapt to your phone, and it's a lot of fun. And you will also have access to our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats where we all gather 6 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays for our voice chat, which is a lot of fun. Our advanced messaging system gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. There's tons of stuff over on the website, and I'm constantly working on it, making it the place to be. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. I'm going to read through really quick, see what you hooligans thought about today's coffee. And like I said, we are going to be doing the Pledge of Allegiance and wrapping things up. But we will be live again later today with President Trump on Tucker Carlson's live tour. It's going to be a good time, so hopefully I see you guys here. If I don't see you tonight for President Trump's next upcoming, the next live that we're going to be covering, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for Coffee with Hooligans. Happy Halloween, Breeze by you. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom to you. Matt, no children were sniffed. That's right. Russell, and look, no eating kids. Somebody needs to play that video for old man Walter. Show him how it's actually done. True Crazy. I look hot dressed as Snooks. True Crazy's hot. Yes. All right. Oh, I appreciate you, AR16. Feed was 100%. Heck yeah. I'm so thankful that Rumble actually hit me up with that Zoom call and we got everything fixed because it was blurry for like 2 weeks. Bobby, I like turtles. Oh, no. No. Why did you do that? Took it extra sexually. Well, I don't know what that makes you. It doesn't sound gay, though. You're all right, Bobby. You're all right. Alistair, the poor minion kid. I was thinking that too, but he got his share because what it looked like is it looked like Melania set candy on his noggin and it fell off into the little girl's bag, so she got double dosed with candy. But if you look closely, it actually fell all over the ground. And so when the little girl went up there to get her candy, it looked like an assistant or somebody helped the little minion get his candy that fell on the ground and whatnot. I think it all worked out because I felt the same way when I first watched the video. Told to carry a safety vest and tie. Yeah. He was looking pretty snazzy. Pumpkin, nice looking trash truck. President Trump, he cracks me up so much. I can't believe he did that. Got out there, got a little trash truck going, got a uniform going, showed up on stage in the outfit. So awesome. Thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate you being here. Peyton, Boss Garbage Man. That's right. Told you, I want Lion Klaus. Yeah, we gotta do that. I forgot. I got his lion mane right here. I'll figure it out. I'll get his lion mane on. We'll take some pictures and stuff. Stoner, I think Jeff Mack is blurry. That's the problem. Well, I'll see if I can get a twisted tea. We'll see. Be blurry tonight. Peyton, I love it. Cheap Halloween costume. Garbage bag. Yep. It's the way to do it. It's gonna be garbage bags and Trump signs. That's all you're gonna see trick-or-treating. What's up, travel crew? Happy freedom. Oh, I appreciate you being here, Hurley Girl. Kirk Allen, when are you going to sing the national anthem for us? You guys see me bitch about people slaughtering the national anthem. I'm not signing up to do that next. If I could sing, I would. But I didn't become a rapper because I can sing, I'll tell you that. Hurley Girl, his humor cracks me up. I know, President Trump is so funny. Happy Halloween, Sage Pup. Sage Pup Twisted Tea original is the best. I don't know. I like the original, but I think peach. I like peach the best, and then raspberry, then regular, then the blackberry. I didn't like the pineapple one. I didn't think that was that great. So then it would go the half and half, then the pineapple. And I haven't had the watermelon. Oh, and then whatever the red, white, and blue popsicle one is, that one's pretty good too. So yeah, that'd be fourth. I got it all worked out. There's only like 2 flavors I haven't had yet. Trick Crazy, do the Trump dance. I'm still working on it. I've been practicing though. Oh, I appreciate you, 10 Man. Thank you for being here. All right, hooligans. It is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, did the thing. Well, hooligans, we're going to read through the chat one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. But like I said, we will be live later today, sometime after 8 p.m. Eastern time, because at 8 p.m. Eastern time, the Tucker Carlson live tour is supposed to begin. And hopefully when it begins, I will know when President Trump is expected on stage. I will make an announcement, so make sure that you're a part of Discord or Telegram or jeffmaclive.com. That way you can get the announcement. If you do follow me on X, I do post a lot of announcements on X. Tick the little bell icon or whatever. That way you'll get notifications when I make posts. Sometimes I go crazy on X. This may be a limited thing that you're going to do. But as long as you got the little bell icon ticked, you should be notified when I make these announcements, and I will announce later today when President Trump is expected on stage. We're going to read through one last time. We're wrapping her up. Oh, I appreciate you, Donna Sparks. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Cassie J. Alistair, I've only had regular half and half. The Rocket Pop is the one I like the best. And Peach, I like all of them. Yeah, Alistair. See, that half and half, it's not strong. It doesn't have a strong enough flavor for me. It tastes like I'm drinking water or something. I feel like I'm getting gypped. It's not bad, but, you know, I'm just picky. Just picky. Oh, much love to you, Hurley Girl. Appreciate you being with us. Thank you, Tony Rich. Thank you, Southern Eagleman. Appreciate you, U-Town. Thank you, Ting Ting. Appreciate you being with us. All right, looks like we're good to go. Like I told you guys, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to start eyeballing Tucker Carlson's live tour. As soon as I know more about President Trump being on stage, I will make an announcement for all of you guys, and then we will be kicking off the live as soon as he walks on stage, unless I say something different during the announcement, but that's the plan right now. If I don't see you later today for President Trump and Tucker Carlson, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.